What's good with it? What's good? Yeah, I want to speak about something today. What's up? We got somebody in the room. You guys see the title, man. I want to go in. And you guys already know everything I talk about, or most of the stuff I speak on in my video, pretty much everything, is all from my observation. And to be honest, every fucking person who makes a video, like, is from their observation. So it's really nothing new. But what I'm about to tell you niggas is like what I've been observing and what I've been seeing like in people nowadays. And this has heightened after 2020, after the pandemic shit. This is heightened. And the crazy shit is the further we get from the pandemic, the more I realize that how much that pandemic didn't need to happen. Like you'll see like documentaries and you'll see shit on TV talking about how like the not documentaries, but you'll see shit and then they'll talk about the pandemic as if like a natural non-man-made hurricane just demolished the city, or like a desert storm came, or something that's controlled by nature. That's how they talk about the pandemic. Like the pandemic happened, it shut everything. Bitch, the fucking government shut everything fucking down. Call it what it is. Don't act like, oh, the economy messed up and this virus. I don't want to say certain shit, but it's crazy. So the further we get from the pandemic, the more I realize how full of shit that was, even though I knew it was full of shit. But when you think about it, like they really shut down the whole fucking shit for no fucking reason, just because a bunch of niggas who are in control for the time being right now, they felt like it because they were emotional. They felt sour. They felt mad and they felt scorned or just felt some type of way. And it's like this shit's crazy. So I want to talk about like ever since the pandemic, why shit is the way it is, and why a lot of these niggas, a lot of people are miserable and fucked up, and they have no personality. Gen Z people suck. People suck nowadays as a whole. Gen Z especially, they're boring and have no personality, and they have forced linguistics. I'm gonna speak about that probably a little later in the videos on what I mean by forced linguistics. I've noticed this happening within people within my family, people I know personally, and I noticed like around 2000, before 2019, even like before 2021, shit was a little bit different. 2021, 2022 is when the ship really like we went into this new ship, but ever since around that time, shit has been really getting it's hella weird. Like you guys got to peep game. First, you guys got to understand is most people who are what they consider Gen Z, or I don't even want to just say Gen Z because you got grown ass men who like around in their 30s, 40s who are starting to take on that quality of Gen Z. So people just talk about Gen Z and them growing up, but then I'll talk about the 40-year-old who has the same qualities because you gotta account for every adult who's a bum ass nigga. You can't just say, oh, Gen Z's lazy. What about the 40-year-old nigga who's a bum ass nigga? And I'm not saying bum like homeless. I mean bum mentality. Like they're not doing shit. They're not. It's not like they're out here making no big moves, nigga. They ain't got no damn motion and waves or nothing like that. So there's more than you can't just blame Gen Z when I'm speaking about everything. This is with everything, and a lot of the problems that Gen Z have, a lot of other older people, I'll say 40s, even some boomers, very rarely boomers, but they have those issues as well. And I'm not saying when I say issues, I'm not saying that the boomers and all of them, they don't have it. They got their own fucking issues, but I'm talking about issues that people correlate to Gen Z. That's what I'm speaking about. Most of these problems that is coming from Gen Z is due to not having an experience, um, too much social media consumption, and them not having an identity. Because we got to remember, back in the day, you can actually be yourself more than you can today. Nowadays, the more you're yourself now, the more you get fucked with. People think it's backwards. People say, oh, you could be yourself. It's about being on social media. And it's the program. If you have a bunch of bots acting like bots, and when a bot bees themselves, it's going to be different than when a spiritual being like me or somebody who's powerful, they be themselves. So when you really be yourself, it's a problem. But when you be yourself within the bot version, that's not a problem. So nobody's their fucking self in 2024. You gotta understand. Nobody's their self. It's an illusion of self. Because look at the fucking YouTube algorithm. Everybody and their mama wants to be a famous YouTube star, but you know damn well that you can't be in that algorithm making a lot of views unless you're pushing an agenda, or I don't even want to say pushing an agenda. Even if you're talking about video games, if you don't look a certain way, you don't talk a certain way, and you don't have a certain um emotional stance on reality, then they're gonna be able to cut you away from that. So like you can this is why I say you don't be fake. I've never been fake in my life. If I felt an energy, I just say fuck you. And people look at me, oh, you gotta make an impression. No, because if I in my internal, I fucking hate humans. I don't want to say I hate humans, but like I hate ignorance. This is what I like. Let's just say I'll say that I hate ignorant people, ignorant humans. And if you're an ignorant person, but you think you're not ignorant, my hate for you is going to be so strong. So even if I smile in your face, it's going to play out as a problem still. So you may give me a cup of coffee and I might drop it by accident, but it's going to play out like that. Or I'm probably going to end up saying something out my neck, but I didn't mean to. And you're like, oh, you offended me. I didn't mean to offend you. This is where like, I didn't mean to offend you. It's because deep down, you really did mean to offend them, but you're not. You see what I'm saying? So I can't be fake to these people. And this is why I just straight up been like, you know what? Fuck you if I seen it. And this is why I advise you guys, don't be fake, because this is what's gonna create this is why people have no identity. This is another reason people have no identity, and this creates forced linguistics, which I'm about to get into, of people not like their voice changes, their voice, the way they sound, the way they speak, all ties into Gen Z, social media, not knowing themselves. Like I'm telling you, this shit is deep. It's not just Gen Z too, it's everyone. This shit is deep. Nobody has a personality. This is like a mental. This has a lot to do with the food as well, because you guys got to understand, a food plays a big role in this. This is why people act different. This is why when you watch a show from the 90s, 80s, the people kind of sound different. And I'm not talking about that fake ass voice that they put in the 40s and the 50s to make people sound like they're like people in the 40s and the 50s sound like they do now. When I say sound different, I'm saying they use different lingo, different mentalities. Back in the day, shit wasn't, because you guys understand, humanity is traumatized right now. They're under severe biological attack, chemical attack through the food. Everyone just talking about fucking terrorism and all that stupid fucking dumbass war and just shit, which that's part of it. But the food, the chemicals, the microwaves, these 5G, the headphones you put in your ears, and that have Bluetooth, all of that shit's frying your fucking. I don't want to say frying it, but it's changing the way you think and act. Let's just say that for this video, it's changing the way you're thinking and acting. This is why people act different over the course of time. Then you couple in social media, you couple in all this propaganda. And when I say social media, I'm not just saying the platform social media. I'm saying the programming on social media. Social media is worse in terms of programming than television. It could be better depending on what you're watching, but most people watch bullshit. And the average grown man is an idiot and watches idiotic shit. So by that, by me saying that, social media is worse than the television, because the most stupidest show on MTV in 1997 isn't as bad as the most ignorant, dumbest shit you can find in just on the internet. You got a fucking person will go and get a big bag of SpaghettiOs and dump it in their car and go take a bath in it. Just dumb, random shit, like stupid shit. People feeding their brain. So this is what's fucking people's mind up. This is why you can. I'm not just speaking. You guys can look in life and see that what I'm saying is true. People have gotten dumber now than they were before. You think that people are waking up, which people are waking up, like me and you. Obviously, when I say people are waking up, it's people like me and you, and that's it. Other people, they're not waking the fuck up. What's going on is they're actually getting deeper into program, because since people are waking up, the government knows that. So now they're tapping into spirituality and science, and like people like Trump and Candace Owens and that type of energy that's looks like it's woke, but it doesn't look like it's woke to me, but they try to sell it as woke, but it isn't. So then when people tap into it, they get trapped in it because they think that has something to do with God. This is why everybody correlates God and fucking with Donald Trump, and he's protecting him in assassination, or they'll say the election in the spirit, and all these stupid nigger communities. Something's gonna happen October 7th or October 5th. First it was September 30th of 2019. Then it was fucking 2020. They always got to do some shit. So damn, I'm rambling all over the place. So pretty much, fuck, I kind of lost my train of thought, but you guys know what's going on. Like this shit's getting crazy. And yeah, the forced linguistics, I want to speak on that, because with the social media and the programming and how they have everything, like all these grown men watching this dumbass shit. A lot of people watch this shit, and when you watch this shit and you have a weak ass spirit, you don't have you actually think people are better than you. Like, if you don't think you're the most intelligent, smartest person in the world, you're a fucking idiot. You should think you're the most intelligent person in the world. Even when I see somebody who let's say somebody who knows how to build a fucking technological contraption, I don't. I still think I'm smarter than him. You know why? Because I may not know how to build it right now, but if I know how to build it, I'm gonna be able to build it better than him. You see what I'm saying? Like, I may not know how to play hockey, but there's a professional hockey player who's been playing it for years. If I study and put my energy into learning how to play it within a year and be the best person I could be within a year, even 2-3 years, I'll be better than that person because my spirit's already great. So whatever I can do, I could do it better. It looks like they're doing it better now because they put their energy into doing it. But I don't. They probably put 20 years in doing it, but I could put 3 years and be better because once I know something, my spirit could really know it. You see what I'm saying? So I already know I'm the smartest person in the world. So most of these people, they don't think they're the smartest person in the world. They think somebody else is smart, or they think this person, oh, he got more views or he got more money. So he's doing something right. I'm doing something wrong, not knowing that, nigga, you could probably just have more blockages because you had more shit, because you have more experiences, and you probably were in a position where you were higher than that. It doesn't even have to be with money or this. It's just energetically. You were higher than that, so you fell lower because you're higher you go, the lower you fall. So therefore, you got to pick yourself up. But you're strong enough to be able to do that. But you're comparing to some bum ass, weak ass nigga who just got some peanuts that you already surpassed. So you're judging them. So people look at other people like they're better, so they feel like, okay, since the way this system has it is, if somebody's doing something, then you should emulate them so you can get what they have, because it's about getting material and money in the system. It's capitalism. So people emulate what somebody else is doing, and this is where you have like entrepreneurs say, follow Warren Buffett's stupid old pedophile fucking child fucking ass and listen to his motivational video. Greg Cardone, he wakes up in the morning and washes his ass with Charmin toilet paper. You need to too, because you see they want to emulate. It's some weird dumbass shit. So everybody's emulating, so it causes forced linguistics. So now I've noticed, like, people, when you especially, this happens with Gen Z, like 98% of what I'm about to tell you guys is with Gen Z. They sound like they're not themselves. Like, when somebody who isn't healed, they sound like a kind of like a tape recorder, and they sound like they're trying to emulate somebody they seen or somebody that they think subconscious. This could be done subconsciously. So subconsciously, there's an image that somebody feels like they need to be. So they will emulate, they will try to talk like and act like that person. And when that happens, it creates forced linguistics where you'll say shit. When you say shit that you don't mean, that you don't want to, that's not meant for you to say, but you say it, it comes out as weird. So this is why you may say something and you be like, it's not what you do, is how you do it. So it's like you say some fucked up shit or some regular shit, but people take it weird because it's like it's not you. And when you don't love yourself, then the world can't, it's going to show you that you don't love yourself. So this is what a lot of Gen Z, they have all these social awkwardness. It's like everything is cringe. I know when I'm around the energy is like that. It's like a cringe energy. It's like they don't really know them. So like social media has made social interactions cringe because everybody's watching this stupid shit so fucking much that it's frying their perception of reality, and they thinking too much, and then they acting like people that they don't fucking need to be acting. This is subconscious. When I say acting, I'm not saying this is subconscious because they don't know they're doing it. And you can see it because this is why everybody talks and acts the same, because everybody's trying to go viral. Everyone tries to have a thing. So what this happens is a bunch of people who don't know themselves, depression, anxiety, and a bunch of like forced linguistics, people who can't, they don't know how to talk. So like it sounds weird. You can pick it up. He's like, I peeped that forced lingo too. Exactly. It's like, and I'm not gonna, like, there was a time I was into it. I kind of had it because this is something that's subconscious. You got to know how to break it. This is why you got to know yourself and really to not have that shit. And a lot of I feel it's the programming, it's the chemicals in the food, because I noticed the boomers, they don't have that shit. When you see like an OG boomer, they come at you, it'll be white, black, Mexican, it don't matter. OG. When you see the average OG, they come up to you, they'll be like, "What's up?" And then they let you know what's going on. Female, male, anything. When I see an older person that's a boomer, white, black, Hispanic, or fucking any type of fucking race, gender, but they're old, they have a straightforwardness and a no bullshit. Even if they're stupid and they're a bot, or if they're smart, it's like they have an energy that's like straightforward. When it comes to Gen Z, it's kind of like cringe, wishy-washy. They don't know themselves. And like it's like the perfect example is like you're talking to them and they're trying to respond and they're trying to act towards what they've seen on social media, or he has bad energy, or I'm not they're not just living life like you're supposed to live fucking life. And I was caught up in that for a little bit, but I'm like, okay, I cut that shit out like a year and a half ago. I cut that shit out, but I was living that for a minute, like thinking too much. Oh, that's bad energy. Don't get me wrong. I still look at bad energy, but bitch, transmute the fucking energy. If something's bad energy, I can transmute it. Make lemon out of lemonade. They tell you that shit. So nobody does it. Everyone just acts like cringe and, oh, I don't know, and wishy-washy and fake, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm socially, I don't agree, I don't relate to no one, I'm introvert, everyone's weird. But it's like, no, bitch, you're fucking weird. Like, nobody wants to even, you wouldn't even want to be friends with your fucking self. Like, I see that as like this, like, because all the people who complain about introversion and I don't like to be around people. I don't like to be around people too. I'm not saying I'm an introvert and I'm an extrovert. I like, but it's like I do what I need to do to get where I need to get to. I'm not gonna just sit there and retreat because I'm depressed and miserable. Because once you heal and you leave hermit mode, then you can actually get into your purpose, and you're not gonna be tripping about extroversion, introversion ain't gonna be a fucking thing. It's just, bitch, I'm living life, and sometimes I don't want to fuck with people, and sometimes I gotta fuck with people so I can get what I need to get. Because if you're talking about, well, I don't want to fuck with people because if they make me sad and depressed, bitch, why not go in? You talk about sadness and depression, you not liking life, bitch, get your shit together, do what you're supposed to do. It's like you go, somebody hires you to go help move the shit from their house, and you go there and you're complaining about how they have the decoration set up. It's like, bitch, you didn't come here for decoration. You came here to do what you got to do. People have all day to think about why they're an introvert, whereas, bitch, just do what the fuck you're supposed to do. You're just trying to distract yourself why you can't do what you're supposed to do. So you talk about shit that doesn't matter, like introvert and shit. For real. And I'm glad that Mooney Mercury, he peeped game on that shit. He's like, the lingo too, because like he's seen it as an example. So it's not like I'm crazy, because I've never heard anyone speak about this yet, and and so he knows what I'm talking about. So I'm not the only one. I know I'm not crazy. Yeah, he's like, people back then didn't have influences in the palm of their hands getting in the way of their natural development. Exactly, and then and a lot of these people, when they went out and they made mistakes that a lot of people now they don't make, because you got internet and social media that'll tell you what to do and what not to do. These older people, they'll go out and make those mistakes, and then they'll learn, so they have more tougher skin. Because, and this is the good thing about them, I'm not saying because a lot of them are ignorant, but the good thing about them is they made the mistakes. Nowadays, Gen Z, the mistakes Gen Z makes 99% of the time revolves around just being depressed and being unfulfilled. It doesn't have to do with actual mistakes in real life, other than like maybe Cheetos went up in price 50 cents or some shit. Like, it's because they go on the internet so much, they go on the internet so fucking much. So they problems that the old generation would have, that they will learn from and bounce their head and grow from. A lot of Gen Z aren't going through it, because they're like a lot of people, for example, I don't want to date women because they're gonna fuck me over. But if you get in a relationship like that, and even if they do, it's gonna make you stronger, because you're gonna learn and have certain experiences that you can never learn and research based on not going through it. But then you go on the internet, oh, this guy, he went through a relationship problem, I'm not gonna go through and then you end up not being in a relationship and cutting that shit out of your life just because you've seen somebody on the internet who went through a problem. But bitch, that's his problem. That's not your energy. Just like somebody could go into a liquor store and play a lottery and win $1 million, you can do that. Are you gonna win it? I'm probably not. You're probably not gonna win that shit. So it's the same fucking energy. That person had a bad experience. Everyone always like to take bad experiences and look at it and relate to people. Like, oh, he got shot because he was in the streets. I'm gonna get shot if I'm in the streets. Don't get me wrong, you are gonna get shot. I'm not saying don't, but I'm giving an example. He got shot. Oh, I may get shot, but then they never do it positive. Like this person won $1 million, I could win $1 million. When it comes to that, then that's when jealousy and envious comes. Because people don't love themselves. It shows you people they think the worst of themselves and the better. They don't think that they could do something better. That's why people can relate on something negative. They can't relate on nothing positive. Something positive, that's when envious comes. That's what I'm saying. He's like, what age range do you consider Gen Z? Yeah, Moody Mercury's right. They say it's 1997 and up, but that's the age range. But the mentality can tap in above that as well. Above that, it could tap in above that, like a little, probably like 35, early 40s, especially now, early 40s, because you got to remember the higher we get in years, like 2025, 2026, the more you have to make the older age lesser mentally. So a 40-year-old now is really a 35-year-old, because we got to remember 8 years ago a 40-year-old was 32. 32 was kind of young. So eight years ago wasn't that long ago. We just got out the pandemic. That was like 2017. It wasn't that long ago. So a 32-year-old 2017 was young. So you got to think a 40-year-old now is not the same 40-year-old as a 40-year-old in the 90s. An 80-year-old mentally isn't the same 80-year-old now. This is why you see a lot of the shit. Everything is really, it's kind of changing, the age groups and everything. So this is why I say, like, it taps in, the mentality taps into it taps in, like the Gen Z mentality. It could be 40, it could be 45, because a lot of these 45, 40 year olds, they were young not too long ago. In 2012 they were 30. So they're still into social media. Like, so like the older, the more time goes on, the more you're gonna see a lot of more ignorant, childish type people in this world, not traditional. And I'm not saying the older generations, they had something we didn't have, because they were fucking idiots too. But in terms of like ignorant Gen Z type thinking, like that shit's like a mentality more so than just fucking, than what you guys think it is, just an age. It's, when I say Gen Z, it's a mentality. Because what I feel like is like most Gen Z, we're at a time right now where you can't bullshit. So a lot of people that consider themselves Gen Z age wise, they're getting hit by this spiritual energy. Like, they're not allowed to bullshit. Boomers, when they were young, they could bullshit because the times we were in. These times you can't bullshit. You have to be in your purpose. So this is why a lot of this shit's playing out. Like, motherfuckers, like, they don't want to go to work, and then they say they're lazy. And it looks like they're lazy, but it's like, because they're not doing what, if they were doing with their purpose, what they were supposed to be doing, Gen Z will probably be looked at as much as all the Gen Zs that complain about not wanting to work. If they were on their purpose, thriving, the Gen Z would be looked at as like the innovative generation, making shit change to the better. Because the energy is really fucking whipping the ass of anyone who's not doing, old and young. But we're in 2024. The energies are different. So now this is why a lot of the boomers are confused. Like, why don't the Gen Z, why don't they just work? Why don't they just do this? Because we're in a different energetic time. You can't do that shit and get away with it, really. And even the ones who are working, like, you may see some people that are working at these places and shit, they're gonna get laid the fuck off. And even if they don't, they're gonna have like, the energy's gotta always get you doing what you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of people that are so-called Gen Z, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing because they don't know, or they watch so much social media. So when you're watching so much social media, you think your life is supposed to be like this. Oh, why does this person have this, and why do I have this? And then they're wasting their time chasing something. You can't tell no one. So now this is why you have pain and negative circumstances and turmoil. This is why these things exist, because hard-headed ass people You can't like I can't you can't tell a person Jesus Christ doesn't exist. So they're gonna have to learn and go through turmoil and pain lifetimes till they get to that realization that it doesn't exist. But they didn't have to go through it. But the price that they paid for going through it is because they were ignorant. They wanted to be in their ego and feel like, oh, I'm right. You can't tell me shit. So we gotta just let people learn. And then when they get laid off and when they say, oh, this is happening in the price of everything, and it's like a lot of this shit is not a problem. I'm not taking no heat off the government because fuck these niggas and they ain't shit. But you also gotta look at it like a lot of these things, like if you took control of your being, they wouldn't affect you as much as like people are trying to. Because one thing I noticed, this social media, they're trying to create a fake orchestrated reality through social media. So like you heard about the pork strike. I wish I didn't talk about the pork strikes. I wish I didn't because I just gave energy to that shit. That shit was fucking pretty much, it was useless. I don't know why I even spoke about it, but they were talking about, I'm speaking about it now, but I'm speaking about the expose this bullshit. They were talking about how everybody's going into stores and buying shit. And the last week I was at the stores and I didn't see nobody like that. And I'll go online and they're like, everyone's at the stores. And the reason I'm telling you this because I feel like they're orchestrating. Well, I know that they're orchestrating reality to make you see reality what is not. So everybody's thinking that, oh, everybody's stocking up on foods because they're gonna stop the ports. But when you go into the average store, nobody. It was just business as usual. And most of the videos they showed you were people who are at Costco. Fucking Costco, the only people who go there are people with families or people who just, they like to have a lot of resource because they're just fucking that mentally ill where they need a lot of food and things even when they don't need it. So those are the type of people who go there. Anybody who's gonna pay a membership to go buy food at a fucking goddamn grocery store already is buying a lot of food. They're heavily invested in food. Bitch, you got a membership to a grocery store. You're heavily invested in eating. So people already buy food on a regular average day, casual day at Costco. They're already stocking up. Everything is fucking in bulk. A packet, you see a big ass pack of M&Ms with like 48 of the fucking 28 packs. Like how much hundreds of M&Ms do you fucking need? Like you'll see that. So people who go to Costco, they fucking already get that shit. So I don't know why they're like trying to say they'll do videos at Costco of people stocking up, and it's like obviously these people are gonna stock up. They're already mentally ill. They're already that type of person that goes there. So and then most of them have families and shit. So they show that, and then all the other stores it'll be just business as usual. So what I got from that is they're trying to orchestrate a reality to make you see everything what it is. And this is why this ties into what I was saying about the whole Gen Z shit, because a lot of people with Gen Z, the reason why their life is so fucked up and is because they see the world in a way that it really isn't, and then it manifests as it's real. So like it's like a witchcraft that they do is they put narratives on the news and then they let it play out. And sometimes the narratives they don't work. Like sometimes they work good. Like the pandemic, that obviously worked fucking good. But then they had the Trump assassination. It didn't really work too good. Like you see, nobody really is, you see how it's not as impactful? Like the Trump situation is really not as impactful because some of their narratives and programs they don't work. Like their NASA program, nobody really remember back in the day when they used to say there was aliens on another planet. Everyone used to be like, "Oh my goodness!" But nowadays it's just like, yeah, you have big communities who talk about that stupid ass shit, but you also have communities that talk about fucking World of Warcraft lore fantasy and how they're intrigued by that. So it's really not even like no one gives a shit about it. Like it's not like it's like it's a big thing like it was back in the day, because a lot of their programs are dying off. Nobody believes this shit no more. So they have to create fake situations. Like they'll have something in the news talking about, like, let's just say like the port strike thing. They tried to sit there and say, "Oh, everybody's don't stock up on food, don't stock up." Like it's like they wanted people to stock up or be in fear that they need to stock up. And you notice like a lot of these companies that's like the paper towels. Everyone's talking about paper towels. I was thinking like I should have bought some fucking Charmin stock or some paper towel, Procter and Gamble, because they make paper towel. I should have bought that fucking stock like 2 weeks ago, and then everybody's buying paper towels and food and whatever. This shit's gonna go up. So like a lot of it is like money and shit, and people trying to get money. Because like if you knew that because people are there is a spike in people buying paper towels right now. Like it was a little spike. It wasn't as bad as 2020, but you probably could have bought some that Procter and Gamble, and then that shit probably would have went up a few points. Because they said the all time high for that year was like 177 when I seen it, and it was like 170 recently. So that shit was pretty high for at least for it being like a 52-week average. So it's just you know what I'm saying, like this shit's crazy, man. But there's a lot of Kim mental warfare being going on. A lot of mental warfare, and you guys be careful. Always shield yourself. Always be aware of your actions and what you're doing, because there's a lot of warfare being done out here, and the last thing you want is anybody controlling like what's going on. Like, yeah, things are gonna happen to you, but you're always in control of your actions in your mind. So always keep that in mind. So because once they can't attack that, then they're gonna start attacking other shit like fucking your physical, or things physically may happen. But the thing is, when you have your mind solidified and strong, so I talk about fasting, qigong, yoga. One of the many ways to get your mind up there, then they'll start doing physical things, or physical things may happen. I don't want to say but things will happen physically, and then when they happen, you're not gonna really give a fuck about. Like it's gonna be like whatever. Like it's like pretty much you're playing a game on hard mode. You play like Elden Ring on hard mode, the hardest mode, or you play that shit. The game's hella hard. When anybody playing that shit, you know what you're fucking getting into. You know the game's hard. You want the challenge. You're up for it. But when you beat it, it's like you're good. But when it's hard, you're not trying to quit. It just that's how life is supposed to be when things happen hard to you. It's not supposed to be because people tell you, oh, good things don't always happen. Yeah, good things don't always happen, but at the same time, who said what's the definition of a good thing or a bad thing? What makes something good or bad? And who said I have to feel a certain way when something good or bad happens? And can I train my body and my mind too? Because it's not something you're just born with. You can just say, I'm just gonna feel good. No, you gotta train your mind, your body. This shit is a journey. So you can choose how things affect you. Always remember that shit. But like there's a lot of attacks going on, and like yeah. This shit is ridiculous. Let me read some of these comments. He's like speaking my shout out to Speak Your Mind. Everyone go check out his channel. Yeah. And shout out to Moody Mercury. Yeah, and I was in your live stream earlier, and I left a comment. You said I left a comment saying people with this placement must be a POS. POS means piece of shit. So I was just joking. Well, I'm not joking. Like probably you got to be probably a piece of shit. But that's what POS stands for. Yeah, I literally call these bots pieces of shit and fucking idiots. Like I don't know what it is. Like every time when like I address a bot, I always call him either a piece of shit or a fucking idiot. I don't know why. Like I've been doing it so when you do something so long, subconsciously it comes into your mind. I be doing it so much. I be saying it, but I don't mean it as disrespect. I be like, "What's up, piece of shit, fucking idiot?" I don't say it to their face, but I'd be like, "Look at that." If I'm talking to somebody else and I'm dressing somebody, I'd be like, "Look at that fucking idiot." Like I literally, it's like I be saying it so much that I don't even think of it as disrespect because I address to my like mentally. Like I look at them like they fucking idiots and pieces of shit, but like it's all like a name. It's like it's their name. It's not like even though they are a piece of shit, but I don't say it as like disrespect. But at the same time, I do. I'm just calling them because that's their name, and I'm used to it. I'm like, "What's up, piece of shit?" But I be just joking around. Sometimes I don't say it to their face, but like if it's people I'm cool with that I'm like not cool with, but I know I can joke like that, then I'd be like, I just have a habit of saying it. Like it's like a fucking tick at this point. I'm like, look at that fucking idiot. Like or like I'll be driving and then the dude pop up. I'm like, this fucking idiot pull out in front of me. But I don't say it like people like this fucking idiot. I just say it like that's his name, fucking idiot. Like these bots is fucking idiot and pieces of shit. I don't know. I just have a habit and a tick of saying fucking idiot and piece of shit to these bots. But Yeah, guys. Yeah. Oh shit! I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to join. I'm probably about to end this live stream too. I think I said everything I gotta say right now. And I wanna like stay on one topic. I don't want to be all over the place with my topics and shit. But I notice I be going all over the place with my videos, and I'm trying to stop that. But if anybody wants to join, the link is in the description. And but you guys gotta understand though, like this shit is this warfare is really, it's like they're doing a lot of warcraft, witchcraft, um, fucking mind control on social media. Like it could be in the most little. It's like there's so many programs every day. Like in the news, they'll be doing shit. Like they had a fucking like some dumbass shit. I don't know, cause like certain programs, I don't know what it is exactly, cause I'm not that deep. Like Dolo, he be like really going to the root cause. So check out his channel. But there's so many things that he don't be covering, cause there's so much shit that happens, and like just weird shit. I'm like for example, they had fucking, what's that bitch's name? Kim Kardashian talking about like some fucking Menendez brothers, and like I guess they killed their parents back in the 90s. And like I heard something of it, but I'm like of like that case. But I'm like, why the fuck are they having like a celebrity like Kim? Because anytime you see Kim Kardashian, Will Smith, or those type of A-list type of celebrities, like anytime you see them say something out their mouth, it's for a narrative or for money. They're never coming out with their opinion, or they just want to talk. Anytime they want to come out with their opinion and when they want to talk, they're gonna be P. Diddy, or they're gonna be fuck with. They're gonna be stung. So I'm like, why is this? Because Kim Kardashian doesn't have a goddamn thing to say. That bitch is just doesn't say shit. Like you would think the bitch is an AI or a mannequin. By the way, like she don't say nothing compared to like, you see what I'm saying? So when this bitch coming out, and then you notice they never have her say anything, or these celebrities, some of them, like for example Kim Kardashian, they wouldn't have her say shit. They will have a picture of her, and then they'll put a quote, and it'll be an article. You never hear the bitch come out and like speak like how other people speak. So I'm like, sometimes I'd be like, did these people even say, like some of these celebrities, I don't even think say these things, or they pay these amount of, like they'll say, oh, this person donated 2 million. That motherfucker didn't donate shit. It's just for a narrative, a story. Or they'll say this person fucking, like the Kim Kardashian said, oh, she said this about Menendez, bro. Like, what the fuck would she be dealing with somebody like that, and they in prison, and like saying that they need to release? Like, but I'm thinking it's like they use these celebrities for a narrative, but I don't know the root cause of exactly why. But that's what I'm saying. Be careful all these programs and what the fuck you're watching out here, because they have a lot of fucking programs and shit. And like this shit, it gets pretty deep. Like I like shit. It's weird. Like they're really controlling this internet shit. And it's funny because that nigga Dolo, he made a video talking about AI, and in his live, an AI video. And remember, I told you guys last year. Damn, I have so many live streams, and my live streams are so long, so it's hard for me to go back and look. But I said it last fucking year, even before he was speaking about it. I said that pretty soon you're gonna be able, and this at that it wasn't even pretty soon. They had this shit back then, but I was like, pretty soon you're gonna be able to um what the fuck I say? I say pretty soon you're gonna be able to question whether my video is real or it's fake, because the AI is gonna get that advanced. But unbeknown to me, this shit was already advanced back then, and it's advanced right now. So like I'm not saying like I'm surprised it is, but I thought they were gonna. I didn't think they were using it behind the scenes to that level. But when I seen his page, and they do it live on his page, like somebody that was about to go live, they like made the AI made like a fucking video render of the shit hella quick and was copying their shit, and then they're able to control what it says. Like this shit's weird. And I'm like, I told you, like pretty soon you're not gonna be able to tell. And I'm thinking like maybe that's the reason why, like, I don't know, cause me, I just be thinking deep, and I'm like, cause when you play like a video game, and I'm like, why when you play video games or when you watch fucking like CGI movies, they don't ever look as real as the AI that they showed you on that nigga's channel. You know, when you see the AI on his channel, you have to really kind of like look at it to be like, okay, you gotta know. Like before, I didn't know, but once I was to know what I'm looking for, then I was able to spot it. So, like I'm thinking, like maybe the reason they don't like to make the video games and the CGI so deep is because they want people to think that it's impossible to be able to render something with a computer that looks realistic, so they can do it for themselves. That's what I'm thinking. It's kind of weird. He's like, Beyonce barely speaks. Yeah, for real. They don't say shit because they're like a puppet. That's the definition of a puppet. Somebody got their hand up your fucking ass and then they moving the clock so your mouth moves. So that bitch can't say nothing. Or if they want to, especially with that shit that happened with P Diddy, like he's like an example to all the other celebrities. Like you get out of line, this is what's gonna happen to you. Like they're using him as an example. Other celebrities like The Rock and fucking Oprah, Beyonce, they're like looking at him like, I don't want to be in that situation. I'm gonna just listen to the master and shut the fuck up, and I'm not gonna wake nobody up. So that's another reason a lot of these politicians, a lot of these celebrities, they don't speak out, and then they pass these fucking laws and they fuck up the economy because even if they didn't, some of them are just evil as fuck. They don't give a fuck. But even if they even had a heart, they'll be dealt with. They'll be dealt with. So that's why a lot of these niggas they just shut the fuck up and they just do their thing. Like that bald headed ass nigger mayor. I guess they say he got indicted or he got arrested. I don't even know what to believe anymore. Like for all I know is that shit probably is not even true. I really don't know. I hate the fucking news. I don't watch the only reason I watch it is just to like I watch it from a perspective of not what they're telling me, but like so I can see the type of programs they're trying to put, and it kind of like adds pieces to the puzzle. Like that's how I look at the news. That's why I watch it, just to see. Because if you look at it, some of these, because anything they put on the news, anytime you see a news article or you see a story on CNN, that's the people who that's individuals and human beings putting in work to try to get you to believe something. It's never an article on the news. There's never an article on Fox or CNN or any network just for fun or just for entertainment. It's for a reason. It's like when you go to your work office, you're not there for fun. You're there to work. You never go to your job and one day you say you were just there to have fun. Every time you're there is to do paperwork or to do lifting or to do something that's going to be work. So CNN, Fox, that's all work. That's not no like they're just doing something just to let people know. Like, bitch, why would they need to let you know shit? You don't even know how to create your own system and run your own. Well, you don't even know you're being. A lot of people don't even know they're being enslaved, and that elections are bullshit. So what the fuck do they need to let you know? They need to. The only thing they need to let you know is that they're in power and to be scared of them. They need to let you know that so you can be scared. Other than that, there's nothing they need to let you fucking know. Other than something to keep obtaining their shit. So I don't know why people they don't understand that when they watch the fucking news. Like they think that's and it's the same with celebrities. It's the same with the politicians. They can't tell you shit. Like it should be like it should be against the law and tongue amputation for any politician to open their fucking mouth and say something. You should have your tongue cut off and be fined $1,000,000,000 per letter of every sentence and word you said. That's how much a politician is full of shit. So like this is why I say I don't understand why people like they're into the election and you have these dumb they even got so deep with this shit where these type of these little fucking operations or these little fucking little psyop shits they do, they have like conscious people on the channel. Like there'll be like some fucking Hebrew Israelite nigga trying to tell people to vote and that using the excuse like, oh, if voting was bad, then why do they not let felons vote? Like this is the definition of a stupid nigger. Like, are you really gonna say that shit? It's like let's just say It's like, how do you not know they deliberately did that to get you to believe that? Like they're like, let's make the felons not be able to vote so we can give a false sense of value. But these niggas think they're so smart, but then they don't think like that. So this is what tells you that they're not using their logic. They're just going based on their emotions and what they want. If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. So they're not even looking at the other evidence because, like I said, some of these niggas, their cranium and their blood flow, it's not functioning right. So they got like the Hebrew Negrite and conscious fucking nigger consciousness. I don't even say consciousness, nigger fucking dumbness, and that they pose as some type of awareness and consciousness, like all this shit, and then you can't tell them the truth. You're like, this is this block goes on this block. It's, don't you see? It's a block. You don't put the triangle, it's not gonna fit. Don't you see it? And you're like, and you tell them, and they don't see it, and I'm like, it's coming. It's because their cranium and their blood flow, it's like it's genetically deficient. So they can't grasp it. Their neurons and like the wiring in their brains, even like when they get certain pleasures and pain, they don't feel it the same way. Like it's weird. Like it's all, their brain is all fucked up. And it's like they're a lower human than you. Like you're more smarter than them. You're more genetically and spiritually superior. Just like I can't go get fucking TurboTax software and give it to my dog and tell my dog I need him to file my 1099. The dog won't be able to register that. And just the same way a dog can't register that, some of these bots can't register truth. It's the same way. Just because they're human and they talk and they fucking can wipe their ass and they drive a fucking their little Honda Accord to work every day doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean shit. That's regular. Anybody can do that. That's a human shit. But when we talk about deep spiritual shit, nigga, then that's what you gotta understand. What's good with it?
Oh yeah, what's good? What's good? I know it's been a minute, but bro, I've been peeped the fact that election season is really all about electing you to be a puppet and to coon for the system. You know, it's all about electing people to say, oh, we're if we could be, if we could if we could elect a whole bunch of people to do what we want them to do, that's election season.
Mm.
We select a whole
Yeah,
bunch. You know what I'm saying? AKA we recruit and we select somebody. AKA they're not selecting the puppets, they selecting us. Like, oh,
hmm,
you voted, come get selected and elected. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is exactly why like it just baffles me why how many people that they've got into this election. Like, remember, I remember there was a time like before the pandemic, people were saying voting is bullshit. Voting is retarded. Like nobody vote. Like I believed at one time that nobody voted like that. But what I think happened was they peeped game and seeing how many people weren't into voting and politics, and people aren't into it. But at this point, because I'm gonna tell you why I can see it. Like at this point, what's going on is they need, like, this is why they have Harris and Trump in office. A
Mm-hmm.
black woman that's Indian, the so-called, they say, and a white so-called racist man. Not saying he is or he isn't, who really gives a shit, but this is to the narrative. A white racist man. And so now everybody, they're voting based upon their emotions and their stance. And this shit's hella weird because back in the day when they had presidents, people used to be like, had the little bumper sticker and they had the voting, and it was still bullshit, but it seemed more like it seemed more like it was, I don't want to say normal because it was never normal, but compared to now, it's not the same way. Like it nowadays, it's like two sports teams fighting. It's like white versus black. White woman, a black woman. Isn't that the whole liberal woke fucking um main protagonist? A black
But
lesbian woman.
a black,
That's
yeah,
yeah, and then
the
yeah,
liberals is a black dyke, and then
yeah, that's like
the
the protagonist of every woke liberal
and,
that the system says.
and then the conservatives is always some white man, some white man that drives like four trucks and
Yeah,
who like my rights, my
like a
rights.
blue collar, like a
Yeah.
construction worker. Yeah, and what it is like they also got because you have a lot of black people that are getting into this shit as well. And to be honest, none of it because what's happening is they want you to be in this politics. A lot of black people they're not even getting they're voting for conservative now. So like that's what I'm saying. This shit gets deep because they a lot of the people that they electing nobody's voting for like the Kamala bitch. Black people aren't voting for that bitch, but at the same time they still need to get you to vote. So now they're doing things. This is why they have Trump talk to Code. He released Kodak Black, and then he was talking with fucking I think Finesse 2 times. He did like he went to one of his little election things with him. Like
Oh, they
you see how like he's done all
they
this.
getting the they
He
getting
went
the
to Chick-fil-A as well with the black bitches.
they getting the he getting the powerful black people, quote unquote.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they know a lot of black people don't fuck with that bitch, so they still need you to vote. So this is why they're like, okay, have them at least have them vote for Trump because they're still going to be in it. And then to be honest, like it doesn't because what I think is going to happen, like it's always going to be a problem.
Hmm.
So whoever gets into office is going to be a problem. And
Hmm.
I don't know who's going to get in office. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But all I know is if they like if they put a Republican in office or a Democrat, it's still going to be a problem. Depending on who they put, it might be a different problem. I don't know, but it's still going to be because they have to get you to believe that this shit actually works. So whoever they put in office, they're going to change things. Some of the things are going to be changed that the people wanted so they can keep people enticed. So the next election season, people keep voting for this stupid shit. So they can't make it like 100% like they have to make people think that they chose. So they're gonna whoever they put in office, they're gonna after that they're gonna probably change a lot of shit in laws and then make people think shit's happening. But then there's gonna be something else that's gonna creep around the corner. It's like
Hmm.
whatever happens, whatever they decide to choose, they can really choose anything. They can just say, oh, the resources, the inflation, and then whatever the fuck it is. Like there's always gonna be some problem, or if all comes to worse and there's no problem because everything just seems good, then they could just say that there's something floating in the sky that we can't see and we have no evidence, and we have to take some fucking crooked ass doctors. We have to believe and trust him what he said. So there's something in the sky. We all got to go inside. Like fuck that shit.
All that fucking spooky ass Resident Evil fucking sci-fi movie bullshit of like
For real.
where it's like, oh, we have no evidence, we can't see, we get it sounds like a fucking movie, like some shit is about to just come from the sky. Like, no, like I done heard this 1,000 times over movies. Like this isn't fucking Stephen King's this isn't fucking Stephen King a Stephen King book. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-mm.
where like where like they're just unknown entities just running around and shit.
For real. It's fucking retarded. Man, it's like you don't understand. Like there would be people like I've seen, like people in my family I spoke to, people I know personally I spoke to, and just people I've seen. Like they're talking like, oh, like you'll think that they're woke, then they got their shit right mentally and spiritually, but they're like, oh, I don't, I'm voting for Trump or I'm voting for Kamal, like all this dumb shit. Like
Oh,
I remember my mother, she said, um, she said she's gonna vote for Kamala. She's like, oh, black women have been done so wrong. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? The black woman is a president. They ain't been done wrong. And even if you want to say so-called black women been done wrong, the fuck that has to do with some
really?
bitch some bitch in the office. So it's
Really?
see, people are sorry, but people are voting on emotional stance. It's not even based on shit. It's like, oh, you a black, so vote for her. So they are like, it's all dumb.
Nah, bro. People, I'm gonna be real, bro. Nobody's
Go
get
ahead.
nobody got done wrong. We're equally all getting done wrong. Like, it's not like, oh, a specific group is getting singled out. It's like, nah, bro. It's like if you not if you not elite,
Yeah,
if you're not the elite of elite, you're getting done wrong. Like black.
that's what I told. That's exactly what I said. What you just said.
Mhm. Oh, for real?
That's yeah. I told her that I was like, if you're like at the end of the day, every race or demographic feels like they're hated. I see the fucking channel. I wish I forgot the bitch's channel. It was a feminist MGTOW channel. Like it was a female channel. It was a white bitch talking about how fucking society is against women and how men are violent and just how men will quote like the divorce rate and the alimony rates of women against men is sky high and they take men's money and they'll have statistics which those are true. This same female had a channel and she was going over statistics on how men beat their wives and her and just like you can always look at a negative statistic towards everybody and that's the program. They're trying to get everyone to feel like the world is against them, so they'll be like, oh, I'm a black man, the world's against me. Don't get me wrong, black people, we go through shit, but there's white what the highest suicide rate amongst males is white men, in the middle-aged white men.
Mhm.
And even when you look at white people, they commit suicide at a higher rate than black people. And it's kind of weird looking at our situation growing up in the hood. Some of us even grew up in third world countries,
Well,
and we don't kill ourselves, but they do, and they've had so-called privilege, and they didn't have that mental trauma throughout high school of being slaves and being called nigger, and they can't even go through life. So it just shows you how powerful black people really are.
so okay, I see what's going on. They're rocking people to sleep based on their phenotype and shit. But what I noticed is that no racist
Yeah,
shit. No racist shit. I
for
think
real, for real, for
I
real.
think I think I think the white phenotype in America is the weakest phenotype that they created. And that's no racist shit. It's like that's the first phenotype that they created with the invader mind. And
Yeah.
that's the weaker one. And then I think the stronger one is like what we're made out of or some shit. I'm really like more. I'm mainly like Indian and I'm Indian and fucking
Yeah.
African, but
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that those type of people they tend to be weak minded by default because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the phenotype. I don't know if it's like the program is and shit, but they
A lot
typically
of it has to do with just the genetics, and I wouldn't just say it's all whole. It's mainly people specifically. I wouldn't say a whole race in general has it.
well
I would probably say, but there are races that have predominantly of a certain way of people thinking, like certain races. So that is true, but I think it's something to do with the genetic, the cranium, how it's straight, the way the blood's flowing,
mm,
and it plays out like how much information they can retain,
mm,
with whether they're going to be extremely violent and ignorant and the levels of that shit. Like
uh,
it gets deep.
it gets deep, and then a lot of black people I notice is that they have real good gifts and abilities, but black people are fucking retarded, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
I'm still listening to you.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But black people are fucking retarded, bro. Like, that shit
Yeah.
is that shit is very clear. Like, like I don't like you'll go. I understand it's like a Pacific group, but it's like, there is like I ain't gonna lie, like niggas are retarded though. Like,
They
but
are like not to mean to cut you off, but like every cause me, I know nigga shit. Like I'm not stupid. So
right,
every time like one thing about black people is black people they like to play dumb and play ignorant and and act like they don't know that they're doing it. Like they'll like for example, like a black person would we try to finesse you out of some money and they're like, just give me this and then do this. And like they're just bullshitting you. And when you call them out on it, they just get upset and offended. Like, how dare you call? Like they play dumb and they be on some bullshit and then like it's disrespectful. Not all niggas, but most niggas
yeah,
they be on that. Like they just be very disrespectful and they act like they know you and they want to like they'll act like they you my cousin or uncle. Like you could just talk to me and that's one thing I notice about black people.
yeah, cause like,
And that's why a lot of the violence in the hood is high because a lot of black people have egos and it's you got that shit going on. Black people they can't mind their own business. In my opinion, they one of the most nosiest races. When I go out and I go to the stores and when I used to do my shit, black people have gave me the most problem. Like you think it's not that, but black people they're more nosy than anybody.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. for sure, especially in my family and shit, they hella
Yeah.
know. But that's ironic because a black person is quick to say, "Hey, don't be checking in anybody's pockets." I'm like, nigga, who cares how much another person is getting paid? Why do you care so much? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could tell them how much you get paid and shit, but it's like it don't even matter because it's like what's gonna matter? It's like if I get paid 10K a month, it's like all that shit you gonna get 10K a month ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of the ignorant. I wouldn't attribute it. I think a lot of it has to do with black people and like the environment and the programming, and because you got to understand, like everybody in this system is traumatized, depending
mhm.
on the race, the gender, and what you've been through. Because on a base level, everybody's traumatized. The way you get birth, being born through a hospital, that's traumatizing. That's
Yeah,
why the baby's crying and in pain. So that's like the first trauma. And then as a race, and depending on your spirit, your karma, and all that, you're gonna have more trauma than others. But black people, we grow up in a certain environment. You grow up going to school, and your skin color is said that you were slaves, and you got other people of that class saying, laughing, and say, calling you the N-word. And you grow, every black person grows up and hears some shit, having to deal with things. So that creates a certain level of trauma,
and then you
which is
gotta do. This is not talked about. You gotta deal with the fact that I ain't gonna cap the black household is like the most fucked up, but or one of the
yeah,
most. Cause like you grew up, you're getting raised, but like you always hear a black. If you grew up like a black person or some shit, they're always talking about getting your ass whooped or something, or oh you they're always yelling at your ass and shit, or if you don't do something correctly or something, it's like it'd be all some over disciplined shit. But at the same time, they want you to be loose and shit. Oh, it's weird.
yeah, but it's crazy. That's why, like, I don't blame it being black people. I feel like a lot of it is product of your environment and system induced, and black people just have a lot of trauma because you got to remember, like, the parents who do what they do and raise kids that are like dysfunctional, they've had trauma from the system, and they had fucked up parents 9 out of 10 times, and it's just a cycle. That's why I'm saying, like, it's a lot of this shit that is imposed that if people knew themselves, we can get out of it. But at the same time, it really, if it was that easy, it would have been done. Like, shit, all you can do is work on yourself. Other people, you really can't, and you really can't even judge somebody else for not even doing what they do because you're not going through what the fuck they going through.
Right.
So, like, everyone, we all going through our own shit. Some people, they got so much shit they got to deal with. So that's why I don't judge anyone like
Right.
that. But
Right.
when I see somebody ignorant though, like, I judge that shit. But because I know this system ain't shit. Like, I don't forget that. That's why I don't really like to hate too much on black people, because I know a lot of this programs and shit have to do, like, why the fuck we gotta wake up and go fucking work at a damn plant to go get money to pay for water? That's fucking retarded. And I'm not saying I'm one not work and be lazy. If I'm gonna work 40 hours a week, shit, I will work 100 hours a week if I was working, building my own farm, learning how to cultivate the land, learning about health, learning about something, even if it meant learning how to make my own system of pipes so I can get my own water and put it in the ground. I don't mind spending 100 hours a week learning that shit.
You gonna
Whatever.
you gonna spend 100 hours a week at a 9 to 5 anyway. So like,
Yeah. And then you're not getting shit but fucking their fucking their
the
monopoly money. Their
the
fucking money that their tickets that they give you for wasting your time, and the shit with those tickets is useless. The only reason money is good, because it helps you survive. So if you're somebody who needs food, you can eat, and you can have a place to stay so you can stay warm, and you have clothes. That's it.
the fuck
Everything else is trash. The TV, the technology is weak. It's trash. That's why
okay.
they gotta keep releasing fucking new shit every fucking year. Excuse me, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to keep releasing new shit every year compared to the last year because the shit was weak. Nothing. The movie sucked. Was really, you could buy some pussy, fucking, whether inadvertently or advertently, because you're paying for it either way. So that's good. And food, clothing, shelter. That's it. And your spiritual mission. As far as the material bullshit, all that is just people going through trauma and trying to fill their egos up because they want to feel like they're better than somebody, or they maybe have poverty trauma and they got $1 million, and then they feel pleasure from doing what they couldn't do, so they have to get that out their system, which is nothing wrong with that. You can do that, but bitch, don't act like that's something that you need to do. That's just something you want to do. It was a trauma that was developed. So that desire was actually constructed from the government and the system. Because
Right.
a lot of shit you don't even like. I remember when my house burnt down in 2000. I was like 8 years old, 8 or 7. I was around that age. It was years ago, like 24 years ago. My house fucking burned down, and the top floor burned. The bottom was good, and all my shit got burned, and I don't even remember. Like, I remember when that happened. It was just like I came home from school. Like, I wasn't sad. I didn't give a fuck.
Wait,
I
hold
didn't
up.
care. And
Wait,
then
you was 8 years old in 2000?
yeah,
That means you
I was.
30. That means you 30 something. Damn, I thought you was like 20.
Now I'm 32.
Oh, you 32.
So,
Damn. Okay.
yeah. So fucking my house burned down and everything. The house burned down the top floor, and I remember all my shit. I had a PlayStation, I had a TV, had my own bedroom. I had a big ass front. It was a big nice ass fucking it was in a suburb. Big ass like I think a 5 bedroom house suburb. I had my own room upstairs. PlayStation, had my fucking I think we had Sega as well. And we had some other shit, big ass TV, everything. I remember all of that shit. I had a whole bunch of games too. And even to this day, I didn't even really give a fuck. It didn't even recognize, like, when I think back now, I'm like, damn, I had a lot of stuff as a kid. But back then, I didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. I didn't even play a lot of the games. I didn't care about it. And then the time that I started caring about shit is when I started being more immersed in the program, in the system and shit, and what I should like and not like. So certain things I started desiring, I didn't really used to not like. So when my house burnt down, I remember they took me to some therapy office, and the lady's like, "Oh, your house burned down. You lost all your games." And then I was just like, "Yeah." And then she was looking like it was sad, but it didn't register. I didn't ever see my brother. He was crying when that shit happened, and it didn't register. Like, now, when I look back, I was that was like fucking drastic and shit. But the reason I'm telling you guys all this because a lot of desires that you have is been developed and they're synthetic. They're not even fucking really you. So you like shit and you waste money, time, and energy just to fucking. I'm not saying it's bad because it's an experience, but sometimes it could get too much where if it causes harm or a problem, and then something happens where
Right.
you get because you got hurt by your desires or something, and you didn't even need to be in that shit. So that's why I tell all you niggas, like, know who you are and shit. Like,
Right. Right. Exactly. Damn, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like, I kind of grew up the same way, but it wasn't as like extreme. Like, I kind of grew up in like suburbs and hoods where it's like I could get what I want, but it's like at a cheap price. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
you said
you said what?
you say you get what you want at a cheap price because all the shit I got, like, because we weren't rich like that, but they had money and we had money shit. So I always had things, and then I just didn't give a fuck about shit no more. And then it just weird.
Yeah.
But like the shit that I like, I never had. Like, I'll get like because I said, well, go ahead with your shit. I don't want to cut
Oh
you
yeah.
off.
I kind of grew up the same way, but my way was like I kind of grew up with poor and kids with money, like flip flop. Sometimes
Yeah,
even sometimes even in the same day, I'll be like, hanging with the poor kids. Bro, one of my best buddies, one of my best buddies, he was living in a Motel 6. Like we had a
yeah,
support, and like I kind of know what it's like to be real, because it's like damn. It's like, damn, bro. Like once you realize all this material shit is just like really nothing, you're gonna be sitting there like, damn, I just wanna be by myself and shit. Or I just wanna do what I wanna do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It really isn't nothing. That what I'm realizing is that money is like a lot of people look at money as in a way to like buy a bunch of material shit, which is like money is actually meant to be invested or used for your spiritual purpose. Like, you know how you have like a candle to help light. You don't use a candle to fucking do anything, but it's a tool to like light up the fucking area. That's how money's supposed to be, as a tool to help you get to where you need to be, or you invest it to make more money. If you're not doing those two things, the only thing you could be doing with it is delving into your desire. So money is meant to invest, to help you reach your spiritual mission, or to just delve in your desires. There's no other reason for money,
Right.
because that's all everyone's doing. They're delving into their desires, or they're just fucking investing it, which you're investing it to make more money, opening a business, whatever, or you're just what was the last one I said?
You I think you said you're
Investing or
investing.
spiritual purpose,
Spiritual.
using it for like a mission.
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing money is really meant for.
Right.
And everyone's spending money on those three things. Most are spending it on just desire. So video games, Starbucks, and all of that shit that you're playing, like video games and Starbucks, and that's addiction. Like I was at the fucking parking lot the other day, and I was at Sprouts, and I was getting some watermelon and some water and some other fruits and shit. And I was in a parking lot, and I seen there was this lady, like not lady, probably like around in her mid-20s or something. She was eating like some, I don't know what she was eating, probably like peanuts or chips. And the way she was eating, like if you ever want to think of an image of somebody who's depressed and in bliss at the same time, think of somebody eating, stress eating.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Like
If you ever want to see somebody who's
I know what
depressed and
I know
in bliss at the same time, look at somebody stress eating.
I know I
she,
know
she
I know,
she was like depressed, but then she had a feeling of like happiness because she was eating, and but that happiness is gonna end the moment, like a few moments after like she stops eating and the food starts to digest.
bro,
So that's why. Go
I know
ahead.
feeling. I know that fucking feeling. That feeling was remind me of the first job I worked where the motherfucker told us, "Hey, bro, we only get 30-minute breaks. Uh, but the job is stress free though, motherfucker. We had to push out packages and shit. This nigga was stressing us and shit. That nigga was a bad manager and shit. And he told us we gotta work on the weekends. Man, kiss my ass, bro. Bro, I'm so glad they just let me go on that job and said you're fired and shit. I don't give a fuck. And that nigga, he quit the job because he got depromoted. Like he went from manager to the regular worker.
For real.
Yeah.
Damn. That's the same dude that gave you problems, you're saying?
Yeah, he gave me problems. Like,
And he got demoted. That's what his ass gets.
yeah,
That's
right.
that's hella funny.
Yeah, right. And it's like you kind of right about these 9 to 5s. It's like no wonder this shit creates mental illness. Cause some of these fucking jobs,
It, it, th- Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. That's another topic I really want to speak on, because you said 9 to 5s create mental illness. And remember, every time when me, Moody Mercury, and we see have these channels, and you see these people who talk about like these bots and these dumb, and we condemning these sheep and how dumb they act, and they always have a fucking negative energy. I, it hit me because I always like to look at them like, why are these motherfuckers like this? And I look at them like the main reason these people are like this is because imagine having to work at a 9 to 5 for 10, 15 years of the past of your life. A lot of these people been
no,
working 9 to 5s every day. And I called DMV. Oh no, it wasn't DMV. It was I think it was DMV or something. And or something, it was my insurance. I had to get car insurance for this fucking vehicle. And I don't want to say fucking vehicle. I'm not gonna put no negative on my fucking on my vehicle, but I was getting some insurance, and the lady was reading me the policy, and for like 5 minutes, this bitch is just reading. Do you state that this, and that, and then in 30 days you got to be here, and that the policy and the terms of this condition, and like she for like 10 minutes, this bitch is just rambling off of fucking like a paperwork that some fucking lawyer wrote up. In You see what I'm saying? Like, and just reading that shit in 10 minutes, like 5, 10 minutes straight, she's reading. I'm like, this bitch has to do this like how many times a day, every day for 40 years? Because they say you gotta work 40 fucking years.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. And so this is where that mental illness, this is where that roboticsism, this is where all this fucked up shit, this is why people are fucked up. It's because you got these jobs out here. Even like I was at the Starbucks, and the bitch is like, "Can I take your order? Do you want to try or do this, this, and this?" And she says the same thing. I'm like, every day she gotta say this. I'm like, this is why when you see these motherfucking bitches and these niggas out here, like they're all like, you look at them, they're all so stressed, depressed. They look so miserable, and they always have an attitude because they're traumatized. Working at these corporations traumatize the fuck out of you. You got to remember, you're making a company billions of dollars. In this reality, there's always like a give and take. Like there's if somebody's getting some positive energy, there's going to be in a way somebody's going to get negative energy. So at the expense of these billionaires, yeah, they're getting all this money and this wealth, but people are mentally wasting their time, mentally becoming traumatized and depressed. This would be a fucking crime to have somebody, especially when you have AI that they're saying can do all this shit, and then they program the fucking bots so much that they're trying to fight against AI. They're trying to say, "Oh, I don't want to work AI. I don't want AI." They're trying to fight to not have AI. I'm like, bitch, this AI is gonna save your fucking life and save you time. You
Bro,
stupid motherfucker.
motherfucker, like I hope AI, I really hope AI just takes over all the warehouse jobs, all the fucking
It
computer
it
jobs.
it
Fuck,
will probably like 75-50% because they're gonna design the AI where a human needs to operate it from behind the scene. Some of the AI is gonna be you gotta operate it. So what I'm thinking is that what they're gonna do probably is they're gonna still probably have jobs and stupid shit like that, but it's gonna be catered around like focusing on AI and
I
other
saw that
stuff.
shit in Japan where this dude was just sitting on his computer controlling a robot, an AI
Yeah.
robot, just doing the tasks and shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, he just doing yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like there's gonna be a person. Some of these robots, people are gonna be controlling, but they're gonna be typing this shit in to program the AI to do whatever it needs to do. Because they have to make it in a way, because you got to remember everything's designed. So when they make the blueprint for AI, they just got to make the blueprint in a way where a human has to operate it from behind the scene, because they create jobs, they create everything. None of this shit has to be like, even when you look at AI, all like 80 to 90% the shit AI does, a human doesn't even need. If you were breatharian, if you're really truly yourself, if you were really out of your desires, you technically wouldn't need AI, because why the fuck you need so much resource? Why you need a human doing so much shit? Like, even when you talk about, oh, I can have a self-driving vehicle, why would you even need to leave the location you're at? The only reason we need to leave the location is because the way they designed the matrix. They put fucking locations and destinations at a great distance so they can make money from fuel, and they can have you trapped and all that. But if we were building a society that was efficient, not like these stupid fucks are building for their own good, we will make everything within our region, within our area, so we don't need a vehicle. And if we do need a vehicle, it'll be a little small vehicle. You can make a hydro engine, put some little water from the lake into it, and then power the shit up and get there. You don't need no fucking oil and all this. But they do all this because they need oil, they need long distance travel and all that, so they can have their aviation and all this other shit. Because you really don't even need to go anywhere, bitch. At the end of the day, nigga, where you're at is nature, is the resources.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying you never go out anywhere if you may want to go travel or go get something may have, but it's like traveling is not as big as a deal as it is like right now. It's all about money and commerce.
Exactly. But this is my last thing before I head out, bro. Like fucking working.
Yes.
I worked a week and a half at my job, and that shit drained the fuck of my Qigong energy. I was like, what the hell? I was like, there's no
Like you
way.
felt like you went. Did you feel like you went backwards?
And yeah, it felt like I was going backwards. It was like, bro, I'm never tired like that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's like I look at everybody else at the job. They said they was tired, they was sleepy. There's this one old dude. He got all this energy. I'm like, how the fuck you got all this energy? I was still trying to figure that shit out. I'm like, yo, what? I was like, what? Everybody's tired, sleepy. I was kind
Yeah.
of tired, but I wasn't tired. I was like, how the fuck, bro? It was like I was getting drained, bro. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Look at it. That's a sign you don't need to be there. If it's
yeah,
draining your energy that much, you need to just leave.
yeah.
And I'm not just saying leave right now. Maybe
No, I
just work
left. I
there.
left.
Say okay, good. That's good. 'Cause I want to just tell people, because people they have their own. I'm not living your situation, so I can't just. But that's good you left, because you don't need to be there. And then, like I said, focus on yourself. Because the funny thing is, when you first start building energy through yoga, qigong, you'll lose energy in the beginning, and you'll be like, man, I wish I had energy so I can, like, you when you lost that job, you probably wish you had energy so you can do that job. But you don't understand, when you really build up this energy, you'll have energy to do that job 3 times, and it's not a problem. But the thing is, you would hate doing that more than you hate doing it when that shit makes you tired, because you have so much energy. You're gonna be like, I could do so much more. You're not gonna want to do that fucking shit. That's
Nah,
so
bro.
funny about, it's funny about life. That's one thing about me about life is, every time when I needed something, I didn't get it. But when I didn't need it because I found another way, then that's when that thing will come, or I'll find a way to get it. And then I wouldn't
Right,
even really use it. Or when I use it, it's not really fun as if it would have been, because I didn't need it. Like, I don't need it. So,
right,
like, that's the one thing about life. You gotta,
right. Like I felt like fucking 2 months worth. I felt like almost 2 months of Qigong almost go away. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? But I wasn't that
yeah.
good though. It was like what the fuck? And it was a weird feeling. Like
Did you get the energy back though?
yeah, I got the energy back after one session. Like
Okay, see that's why you got to keep to see the sessions, because you picked up where you left. So that's good that you got the energy.
yeah,
So, like, yeah, you gotta. That's why you gotta. Because remember, I told you this is a year-long process. So you're in the beginning stages. So this is gonna happen. The longer you do this, the more it's gonna, like, attached to your energy body and your aura. It's gonna attach like some type of, imagine like something that's infected. How,
my
like, it's slowly, you're gonna attach, and then
yeah,
you're pretty soon the energy is gonna become you.
my
So therefore you won't lose energy that quick. Like, you won't even feel that. If anything, you would have been able to knock that shit out quicker. But
and
like I said, you're in the beginning stages, which is perfectly fine. You built it
I
back.
realized that also there's this thing called the fascia muscle. And
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah.
yeah, the fascia muscle is like I know all this weightlifting shit is good, but it's like before you can even lift weights, that's like your fascia muscle is like the number one thing that's like keeping your body apart and keeping you an athlete. Like that's what I like. I do that. I do that and train my fascia muscle because I really feel like we're all training the wrong way. I think we're training too much our muscles and not the foundation that makes up our muscles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because the fascia muscle, that's where yoga comes in, stretching, qigong, all of that's like dealing with the fascia. So when you're dealing with the fascia, you're eliminating the root issue of the problem. Like when you have a knot in your neck, people have trauma, depression, anxiety, that gets
Yeah,
stored in the fascia. So
yeah,
a lot of people who have a lot of just anger, depression, mental illness, it's stuck in the fascia, so it becomes you. So a lot of people, they try to figure out, oh, I have depression, I have this. Some people have depression for so long they identify with it. But once you remove that fascia, it's like your personality, it changes the way your personality, your mind. It's not even you're changing it. It's just you're just removing the trauma so you can actually be yourself. So you're
mm,
not in, even because a lot of you guys may say, I don't have trauma, I'm fine. But you don't know, because you haven't really, like, if you haven't been on a fast for over 8 days, if you haven't really done yoga, stretching, or done any type of cleansing practice of the energy field, you really don't know how good your body's supposed to feel.
right,
Like,
bro.
a
Like,
lot of you guys may have tension or whatever, and you don't know you have tension. Like, I had tension in my neck all these years ago, 2015, before. I didn't know I had tension. I thought it was normal. And then after doing yoga and stretching, I felt like more loose in my body, and certain like tightness I thought was part of a human vessel. It was gone. And I'm like, I feel like a different person. Like, I'm in a different bodysuit because I released tension, but you don't feel pain when you have some tension. Some type of tension is not pain. It's just your body is just structured a certain way, and you just
right,
think that's how your body's supposed to be, but you don't know that because you haven't cleansed the body through fasting, yoga, qigong, to be even know how to feel. So once you feel that, then once you get to that state, then you start having glimpses And one way you know you're getting to that state is you start having glimpses and thoughts and feelings as if you're like 5, 6, 7 years old. Like when you're like 5, 6, and 7, how you like had a
Bro,
burst of energy, you felt good, or you want to run around the park. You
gonna
have
make me
bursts of those energies when you start cleansing the energy.
he gonna make me feel like I was fucking 3, 4, 5 years old, bro.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to feel all the time. Not
Like,
just bursts of moments. You're supposed to feel like that all the time. That if
bro.
you don't feel like that all the time, you have a blockage.
Right. I feel like that all the time anyway. Not because I'm young, because like I always felt like that. I would, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like,
I'll say I'm closer to that. I'm closer to that. I'm not completely there, but I'm gradually getting there. It's like a phase. And I'm not saying the goal is to get there. Like those motherfuckers be, oh, the goal is to get. No, I'm just telling you like my experiences and like of when you do this energy and how it can help you mentally, and then this could carry on to other things in your life.
right. And yeah, from my experience, bro, like, Stephen Curry, he did the fascia muscle training. And you already know he good. And then they did an experiment on LeBron, and they found out LeBron's feet and shit, his fascial muscles were developed. So like this shit is no joke. Like you could
But
become,
you said LeBron's fascia muscles was more developed than the other guys.
yeah.
The- so say that again. So you said.
Okay. LeBron's fascial muscle,
Mm-hmm.
it was more developed than other other basketball athletes. And
And
then
you
Stephen Curry, he worked on his fascial muscle, and now he's like one of the best point guards.
exact dude. That's crazy. You say that because even if you look at like LeBron James, he genetically he looks the most superior in terms of genetically. When you see him around the other fucking NFL star and NBA stars or the other players, he looks like he's more like genetically superior than them, and
See,
it's connected to the. That's why he's good because he's able to move his body more superhuman compared to the other people. That's what makes an athlete a better. This is why I remember I told you in my last live stream. I told you guys, an athlete is is a version of somebody operating off of what they call chi and prana. That's like a base version that you can see of somebody who's operating off what breatharians call chi and prana. An
they got
athlete, because an
more.
athlete, they can run across the court back and forth for hours and not get tired and still be able to play and do this consistently. They're able to do things average person can't really do. A person who plays college NBA, who plays high school, can't do. So they're tapping into that because they've trained their body, and they've had a lot of, some of them have genetic gifts from like LeBron. He was just genetically gifted with that shit. You can kind of tell, and it's crazy you mentioned that because the fascia, depending on how it's developed, it can. And it's funny you say Stephen Curry because Stephen Curry looks like a regular person. Even if LeBron didn't play basketball, he still looks like he could play because he has genetic superiority over
No, but like
Stephen.
I was explaining Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Uh,
He built his shit, but Stephen Curry looks regular, but he's still good as fuck because, like you said, he worked on the fascia. He has trained it, which that makes so much sense.
yeah. Stephen Curry. What's the name? It's open.
And I'm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to all your guys' questions. I'm gonna get to everyone's questions.
Yeah, but Stephen Curry, he trained his fascia muscle, and easily became one of the best players in the NBA just by off of that. Like Stephen Curry was not no athlete like talking about. Like this dude, all he had to do was make one adjustment and not lift a whole bunch of weights and shit. Like they tell you, or overwork your body, and then now he's one of the best. And then Zhang Wei Li, she practices Qigong and fascia muscle training, and now she's like the best women's athlete in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know that. I believe that because
Yeah.
it makes you like it's weird because like when you do this, it gives you you're in control of both of your bodies. You're not just in control of the physical body. You're feeling more of your energetic auric body. So you're able to generate like efficiency when you're using your physical body. So if you punch, you're able to, your body's able to like look at the key energy as like it's intelligent, and it's allowing your body to move more efficient, so you can punch harder than you normally. Because when you punch normal, you don't have ki in you or that energy. You're punching with your force, and you think it's hard, but it's not as hard. But when you have that energy, it's like it's accelerating it, able to punch more.
I
So when you
can't,
play basketball,
I can't,
when
bro. My bad to cut you off, but I can't
yeah,
wait to get my martial arts career going because you put me onto game, and then
yeah,
I found out about the fascia muscle shit. It's like, bro, I might become the best in the world at one point. Like this shit is too,
for real,
like
that's
yo,
good. I'm glad, because I'm telling you, like this shit ain't, and it's more than it's with everything in life, like not just with just the sports and stuff and the physical, mentally, your
yeah,
situations in life, the same type of strength, your situations play out, things play out. Like there's this feel. I got to tell you guys a story. I got hit by my car didn't get damaged. It was this lady. She hit was well, she was around like probably in her mid 20s. She hit me, and when she just drove into the fucking just into my lane, and she hit the side of me. It didn't damage nothing in my car. My car's good. And I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I get out. She's
right,
like, "Sorry, I didn't see you there." She's like, "I something told me I was gonna get in that." I put this on everything. She's like, "Something told me I was gonna get in an accident this morning." And I was like, "Man, you got to be careful. You don't want to be manifesting and have negative. I just also I told her, and then she's like, "Yeah, this is weird." And even that day, like when I woke up, I kind of felt like a negative energy. So it's so like when I experienced that shit, it made me realize like when you see a lot of these things like murders, car accidents, rapes, and just anything negative or even positive, you got to understand there's a certain timeline, because somebody looking out and be like, "Oh, an accident happened. It's just an accident." But when you look at the deep, there was a story behind that female. She was in a certain mind of thought when she got into the accident. And
oh
I was in a
shit,
certain mind, and you see how it connected. So
yeah,
this is why, like in life, you gotta understand, like you don't want to be manifesting and creating situations. A lot of these situations you see people are going through, you don't want to. You got they say it's their story, his story, and the actual story.
mm-hmm.
That's how it is. Everything people manifest shit. So that just made me realize, like, cause she literally told me, she was like, I'm on my way to work. I was late, and something told me I was gonna get in an accident. And I'm like, this is crazy. She was in a certain mindset and manifested that, and I was in the mindset. I was in a negative mindset because I was fucking, because my tail light fucking wasn't working, and I didn't even know I bought this car in May, and I was stressing the fuck out. I was stressing, but I was kind of tripping because I was like, damn it, like this fucking, I didn't know my tail light. The police pulled me over, nigga. Like my tail light's there, and my shit. I've been driving around with this shit since May, and I was like, what the fuck? And this one dude, if I see him again, I'm about to give him like $5 or something, because he saved me. He saved my ass from potentially getting pulled the fuck over or some shit. And
Damn,
yeah,
damn,
so I'm so happy that I might give him some money if I see him around here, or I get him a beer or something. I think he drink.
damn,
And it's
bro,
funny because when he came up to me, he was like, "Hey, you know your tail lights out." And I was in a bad mood already, and I just didn't feel like talking. I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Did you hear me?" I was like, "Yeah, I heard you." I kind of had an attitude with him. And he's like, "Okay." And then he just walked away. And it's funny. Usually I don't do that. I'm usually cool, but I just wasn't in the mood. And it is funny. The time that I did that, he actually said something to help me. But in every other times, I'd be entertaining some bullshit, some dumbass bot, that bitch ass nigga, and they'll be like, and then they don't have nothing to offer me. But the time I have it, I'm not in a good mood with somebody, so I kind of felt bad. So I was like, if I see him again, I'll probably shoot him something, because nobody, because I don't really drive at night like that. Like I drive at night, but when you drive at night, nobody's gonna tell you your tail lights is out. Like
right.
nobody really, yeah. So I didn't know, and I've been driving this shit since May, since I got my other car in the wreck, and then I got this one. So I
Right,
was like,
right, exactly. And
so yeah, I got it fixed. Everything's good though.
also, can you release more Qigong videos or
Okay, yeah,
because like I keep on doing your 40-minute session ones. I just need more ones like I think you should release a beginner one, an intermediate one, and an advanced one. So like
okay.
I wouldn't be stuck. So I wouldn't be stuck like doing like the beginner one for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I'm,
I
I'm
think
gonna I'm gonna start releasing them more consistently. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that. I've been doing it every day though. I don't be
'Cause
sleeping on it. I just,
I'm gonna
because
be,
usually,
I'm
I
gonna be
just
the.
sorry about that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just be really busy, and like the time just be flying by. Like I used to get up every morning and do my thing at Qigong at 8. Today was the first time I was able to get up at 8 and do my Qigong, because usually I wake up, I gotta do hella shit and
I usually do my
that,
shit at night, and it helps me.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh,
some reason it helps me sleep. Like,
I do it at night too. I do it at day in the morning, and I do it at night. I do it 2 times a day.
okay.
Morning and then at night. That's why when you do it like that, the energy really builds. I don't think I've done it. Sometimes I'll do it 1 time a day. Like when I was coming from Atlanta and the flight was at night, I did it 1 time a day, but I do it 2 times a day all the
Okay,
time, man.
okay. I should do that. I should do that. But
It builds the energy a lot more. The energy stays constant when you do that, and you're building it a lot more. And
I should.
you're gonna notice everything like you're I know I'm stronger because things feel light. Like I could pick up this book and it feels light. It doesn't really feel, but I haven't been working doing no muscle or exercise, but it feels light. So that's how I can know the
that,
energy.
that's that energetic field, and dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I swear to God, like I punched this. I punched this. Like, people could say it's plastic, but like I use barely any force, and I punched through a plastic bowl.
Yeah, and it went through.
Yeah, it went through. I was like, what the fuck?
That's what's up. That's telling you. That's
Bro,
good. Just keep at it. Don't stop. Because I'm saying, like, you want to imagine 3 4 years of you doing this.
bro, oh my
You're
God.
gonna have something that you can you want. One thing about life is you want to be doing something that takes a long time to master, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be a skill, learning martial arts, qigong, or fasting, whatever. To do something that's gonna, so you can have a skill. So 5 years from now, you can be in a position, because a lot of you guys say, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be a professional this, but there's people in the industry that you're trying to be good at who've been doing it for years, who know it. So you want to master something like the qigong. You're doing the qigong. 5 years from now, you're gonna have benefits from qigong you can use in 5 years that if you didn't have, you maybe not be able to use, and you'll be in a fucked up situation. But you've been doing qigong for 5 years. Let's just say the world changes somehow. You got some type of energy that allows you to thrive more than the average person, and you're not sweating shit like other people are sweating. Because
Yeah,
he's like, you see what I'm saying? Because you
right,
had something that you were been doing, and it's natural, and you're doing it, and then that's how you're supposed to live.
right. But with that being said, I'm gonna head
Yeah.
out. My battery is low. But
Okay. Yeah.
out of all the qigong sessions, I don't know why, but I trust you the most. And then
Okay.
this other channel, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep
Because
on doing this qigong shit. Yeah, go ahead. What you about to say?
I said, because me, I look at it like I'm trying. I use qigong a lot of these other people just do it just for stress relief, or they kind of make it trendy. Like they don't they fucking play with it. They're playing
I
with
don't.
this shit like it's like a
I don't.
fucking
I don't.
toy.
I don't like when niggas play with shit like that because it's
Yeah.
like
Like yeah.
I didn't seen a video where a qigong master dead ass got hit in the face with a fucking bat and nothing had to happen to him, or he
That's
dead
crazy.
he dead ass got stabbed and nothing. All there was like just a little scratch poke. Like
Damn.
bro, like
See,
I'm like I don't like when people play with that shit. When I clearly
yeah.
whole video of this dude out here doing some like magic tricks and shit, and people could say, "Oh, that's fake. Science can't explain that." Where it's like, nah, bro.
It's
Like,
funny. It's funny how they'll say that shit's fake, but then they'll show some fake CGI like blue ball in the sky, and they'll say that's Earth, or that's fucking Andromeda, is Alexa 72, and then they'll say that's a planet or that's a moon of fucking the Andromeda galaxy, and then they believe that shit. But that could be CGI. But they go watch Star Wars or watch all these Star Trek, and then it's the same shit. Like it could be CGI, but they believe that, but they don't believe something. So it just shows you people just pick and choose what they want to believe. So like they just have that programmed mind.
right, indoctrination, and yeah, from that point over, I was like, okay, let me take this qigong shit way more serious than people believe it to be, because they said the fascia muscle workout was bullshit, and they said the qigong was bullshit, and that's got to be the real shit, because like if they said the fascia muscle shit was bullshit, then these niggas is retarded because the fascia muscle shit, it's like, bro, it's just basic. It's just basic body movement, and it's making your body move a certain way where it's like your energetic field could flow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you're feeling your energy body. You're able to
right,
control that. You have control over the energy body as well as the more physical body. So this is where the flowing feeling comes in, and it's like, yeah, like, it's just crazy. And like I said, all of this, you don't want to just be connected to the feelings of it because the feelings is good and all, but we're cultivating the energy to help aid us in what we're trying to do in life. I like to say that because most people come and, well, I don't give a fuck what people think at the end of the day. I shouldn't even be saying this. People should have their own common sense. And even if somebody wants to do it just to feel good, like, who the fuck is your business? Like, worry about your fucking self. But I just like to say this so, like, it's not just about the feeling though. It's
right,
about, yeah, it's about actually cultivating energy to build something. But at
right,
the end of the day, do whatever you want to do. Somebody who does qigong all day and that's all they worry about is the feeling, they're in a better position than somebody who's worried about other shit, but yet they both work at
yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, my
And
only
then one person's happy and able to get through the shift when this nigga he can't. He's complaining the whole shift.
right,
But they still gotta be at that shift because they have no other options. Unless they
right.
feel like they have
They
no
have
options.
no other options, and
So
yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna head out.
yeah.
My phone is getting not charged,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
if y'all
man too.
wanna,
Mine at 12%. I probably
but if y'all wanna, if y'all
I'm gonna
but
read.
if y'all wanna hit me up, my Instagram is Mysterio, and then I'm gonna be if you I'm gonna be making a video where it's like I'm gonna show y'all fascia workouts, so that way we
Okay.
wouldn't have to lift a whole bunch of weights to make up the fact that or train as hard but train smarter. So for the fact that if you were an athlete, you wouldn't have to, train 10 times harder throughout the day. Instead, you
Hmm.
could hit one session. You could hit one session, work on your fascia muscle, and then, do your thing.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah. People need to see that shit. That's what I'm gonna check that out as well. Shout out to Mysterio. I'm gonna check that out as well. The fashion muscle and everything, like, because I've heard about. There's this one female. She talks about the fashion muscle. She was all saying that you can't change the mental aspect with manipulating fascia or whatever. And I left her comment. I'm like, you tripping? Like, you can do it. And then she was like, oh, I'm not saying you didn't experience it. I'm just saying the mechanism. But so the fashion muscle, yeah, that is. I must, because at this point right now, I like to just I don't do as much research as I used to do back then. At this point, I'm into just doing. So I do qigong. I'm doing what I do, and I'm not too much into researching because when I research, it makes you just. Don't get me wrong. It's good to research. Obviously, I research, but I've been. There's been a time in my life I haven't. I've been wasting a lot of time. I don't need to be researching. Like most people aren't in a state where they need to. You know what you need to do. Just start doing it. Even if like the qigong workouts, just do it every day. And then as you start building the energy, you're gonna find other qigong workouts. Even if it's the same workout every day, like that's good. Do that until you find other workouts, and then don't be like, oh, I can't. I'm not gonna do all the. I only have one workout, so I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna work. Or no, just do it. So I'm gonna read some of these comments. He's like, all right, Chauncey, people are always so rude at the workplace. Like I asked them simple questions and they have attitudes. Yeah, that's because they're fucking miserable. They gotta work that miserable fucking job. They so that imagine having to work that job every fucking day. So that's why they're annoyed. But you gotta understand like why are you there? You're there with them. So you gotta always like keep that in mind. Like there must be something. I'm not saying something wrong with you, but there's some type of disconnect energetically on your part if you're there, especially if you're there for a long period of time. If you're there and you don't want to be around them, you don't have to be around them. You always got to remember you're grown. You can do whatever you want. You could be anywhere in the world right now. The fact you're there means you made the choice to be there through consequences or choices, or you just wanted to be there. Because me, I have zero tolerance for that. Like I'm the type of person who I'm not gonna work if I don't like this place. Like a lot of people say, "Well, I have to work here because I'm gonna be homeless." Like at the end of the day, like if you don't, no one's forcing you to. Nobody's forcing you to do shit. And who even said you're going to be homeless if you don't work? Like all of that shit is programmed. Like people don't understand, and I need money, or if I don't work, I'm gonna be homeless. And then people, and then they don't understand like what's worse is which is worse, being homeless or being in working 40 years, 20 years of your life and not having shit to show for it. Time, even if you have money, time wasted. You were spent at the office cubicle for past 20 years. You only had a 1 week vacation every year. I remember an old dude, he said fucking, he was like, I would rather be in a situation as a transient if it meant I can get the past 20, 30 years of my life back. Cause he worked like this job, is some corporate job or some shit. Like that's how much he's like regretted. Like he liked the money, but he's like, what was the point? I don't have no time. And then he wasted all his time working because a lot of these people, like they sit there, like you notice all these entrepreneurs and rich people, they'll talk about, oh, I want to make money, I'm trying to build wealth, and I'm trying to stack up money, but they don't realize that eventually they're gonna die, they're gonna pass away, or even if they don't die, they're gonna get old in age. So even if you save up your money, like these people say, oh, you can make $1 million by the time you're 45 if you invest into these certain stocks and index funds. But bitch, by the time you're 45, yeah, you have $1 million, but you're not going to be able to, some of the shit that you wanted to do at age 20, you won't want to do at age 40. Your dick probably won't even be working if you ain't no fucking breatharian, you ain't ate all that. So you can't really have fun. You can't do this shit. You probably depressed because of all the other shit. You probably had a wife that fucking divorced you, got killed herself. You have all these other problems and bills. So that $1 million really ain't the same million as when you were 20, regardless of how you put it. Not even having to do with inflation. That's one thing, but the terms of your you won't even be able to enjoy it the same way. You won't even have the time to enjoy it. So people, they waste their whole life just to try to get to some oh, I want to make a lot of money. I'm trying to get rich. I'm trying to get successful, which is great. But then they forget to take a break. They forget to chill and be on the mission, do what they're supposed to be doing. Like if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's different. But some people just be out here just making money. What's the point? Or they'll be slaving at a shitty bum ass job, all at the expense of so they can pay rent. Like if my rent is to the point where I don't have nothing to do but just pay rent, I'm not fucking paying rent. Like I don't care. But like at the same, I don't judge people for just working though, because not everybody has a strong spirit like me. Like a lot of people, they need to eat, they need food, they need like, I don't need a lot of shit. I can go days without eating and drinking before, and even when I do eat and drink, I don't need that much to reset myself where I can go some more days and fucking without drinking and eating and shit. So I don't really need as much shit. I don't really give a fuck. And plus, I'm not really material and I care about shit. So a lot of people, that's their problem. So they're trapped to the system, regardless of what they want to talk about, of them trying to be free. Oh, I'm going to grow my own food. And like, not really. You're still going to be dependent because you still have to get land that you have to pay taxes on, unless you got to pay on somebody else's land. And then if they want to get your shit removed and end your crops, they can do that. And I'm not saying we shouldn't grow food or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. We should grow food and do all that. But it should be a means to an end. Means to until we build our energy and then we don't need it no more. Like a weaning off process. Like they have methadone. It's like a drug, but it's supposed to wean you off. But some people get addicted to the methadone. Some of you niggas get addicted to the food, to the growing food, and thinking that's the end. Which, if you want to do that, that's fine. But let's just say something happens where bugs come and ruin your crop, or the government spray some pesticides over your crop because they want to attack you, then now what now? Yeah, but if I was you, I would just get the fuck out of a workplace with toxic people. I couldn't work at a toxic environment. I just couldn't. I'm too intelligent. Like I see shit in advance. Like I'll see something that's gonna. I'll be cool with somebody. Let's just say I talk to somebody. We have a conversation for like 30 minutes, an hour. From that conversation, I can foresee that I'm gonna have an argument with this person, or this person's gonna do something shady, or I may end up saying something and this person's gonna get offended and it's gonna be a problem. I can see that. So like when I see that, I disconnect myself from that situation. And the funny thing is, when you do that, some people will get upset, and that when they get upset, their anger pretty much showed what I was expecting. So that same anger they have for me for doing that, they would have had that same anger if I carried on that relationship and we argued over some missing fucking money or something else that has nothing to do. You see what I'm saying? So it still expresses itself. So when I see motherfuckers I don't fuck with, I get out of there. Not just with work, but with anything. Like, I don't deal with it. Say he doing ye. Shout out to Elheem, Shy Native. Say flexibility, muscle for longevity. Yup. Shout out to Inside. That Inside 11. Yeah, shout out to Inside 11. Yeah. Yeah, I think Inside 11. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. He be dropping some deep esoteric game. Yeah, but movement, the main thing. Yeah, you gotta move. If you don't move the body, then the muscle atrophies. That like you see those people in a coma for like 3 months or 3 years, or they're like in a coma that get skinny and then their muscles are weak because they've been laying in a bed all day. So you need to move. I find myself distancing myself from most people at these workplaces because so negative and always having. And I'm gonna have to end this live because I'm at 7%. Always have attitudes. They've been projecting a lot. Yeah, man. I'm so glad I don't work in the work industry. Like I just don't see how people have time to do shit. I don't even work a 9 to 5, and like I don't even have time to really even fucking do shit. It seems. So I don't get how people can literally fucking do that. Like my time is worth so much. It has to get to a point where whatever happens of you quitting that 9 to 5 is not that fucking bad compared to you staying there in this climate we're in, energetically, astrologically, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I don't see how people can do it unless they just maybe they got some fucking placement in their chart where they just like that shit. They got like a fucking Capricorn 6 house stellium where they just like to be a fucking slave, dick in the ass government official. Like, no, like if you want to do that, then you should. Like, it's funny how all these people say you need to work, you're lazy, but then they say that like if you like you're telling people they need to work. Do you like to work? Because you talk about working like you like to work, and if you like to work, why don't all the people who think it's normal to work, why don't you work and just foot the bill for everyone since you think that's how life is supposed to be? But they'll tell you, no, if I have to work, you have to work. So, bitch, that pretty much means if you're miserable, you want other people to be miserable. That's pretty much what it means. So if you don't like working, and it's evident you don't like working because you don't want somebody to not work while you work, and you won't give your paycheck to sell or help somebody else. You won't do that because you feel deep down, working ain't shit. So why doesn't people realize that and come to the conclusion, not even say we don't have to work, but we just ain't working at these bum ass jobs doing useless shit? Why don't people come to the conclusion and just not work if it's something that has nothing to do with what's important? But no, people rather still keep working while complaining and while accepting the consequences of a system like this, such as crime, fucking people not working, people saying, oh, you're lazy and all this shit. Shit's crazy. But I don't think the world is ever gonna get better. What I think is gonna happen is there's gonna be a lot of purging. A lot of people are gonna die. And a lot of people are gonna die due to not because of like it's just due to ignorance. And that's what's gonna have to fucking happen. That's what's gonna have to happen because there's no other way. Like, I'm not saying it's like, because I'm just saying this like that. I'm not saying this like it's karma or this is what's gonna happen because I'm saying this as in everybody just doing shit that's gonna lead to that. Nobody wants to wake up. So it's just gonna lead to that shit. And then the people who are smart and who are gonna get the world to a better position, they're gonna be the ones who survive. And it's gotta like that's what's gonna happen. Like I think a lot of these people are gonna be purged and just they're already on the deathbed, really. And I think I'm at the end of this live stream, guys, because I'm at 5%. Oh, actually, I probably can. Hold on. Uh, I fixed my thing because yesterday when I got my tail light fixed, my what's that shit called? The cigarette lighter where you put the charging thing in. It was broken. It wasn't working. And I was like, there's something wrong with the electrical, so I didn't know what it was. And when he fixed the tail light, it fixed that. So I guess it was something electrical that he fixed. So I can charge my phone in here now. If I can find my fucking keys. Come on. Hold on. Give me a minute, guys. I got him. The fuck? Oh, I was gonna say I thought it broke for a minute. Alright, I'm back. These motherfuckers pay you by the hour at jobs because they need your time and soul. Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like they have these jobs to keep people from being on their spiritual path. Because if everybody's doing their purpose, what they came down here to do, by default, this world would change. Like that's what I think is that's what I think is why they have 9 to 5s to keep people busy. Like when you think of the Matrix, every single thing that they have you doing in this Matrix is wasting your fucking time. You may say, "Oh, I gotta go to work." It's not wasting my time because I need money to go pay. But why the fuck you need money? It's because somebody tells you you need money to pay rent. So it's like it's all wasting your fucking time. So everything you play video games, go watch a movie. All of this shit is wasting your fucking goddamn time. I'm telling you, nothing. This ties back to what I was saying. Everything you can buy with money that isn't like survival is useless. The only reason you need money, the only reason everybody goes crazy for money is survival. So they can be able to pay rent, so they can eat, and then so they can have a place to live, pay rent. You can't tell me there's somebody who's, or to get a car to drive around. But you can't tell me somebody just gets money just to have other shit that is, unless they're a drug addict. So it just showed you how weak this fucking world is. You're working, you're wasting your time to get a bunch of shit, and the shit's crap. The shit costs more money, and the quality of the shit is worse because they're making the quality worse each year. So the quality sucks, the things get worse, and it costs more money. And then they make the shit cheaper. They want to make it cheaper so they can get more money from you. So they have to make shit cheap so they get more money. But the thing is, they get more money just to buy cheap shit that's already released because every corporation is releasing it. So what's the point of making cheap shit to get more money just so you can get money to buy cheap shit? So all the people who are making money, who are selling shit to get more money and selling cheap shit to get more money, they're getting the money to buy cheap shit because everybody's doing it. So it leaves a system where everything is cheap. Everything is crap. All the technology sucks. All the technology, that's why I have to release it every year because there's always problems with it. They released iPhone 16 because iPhone 15 had problems that iPhone 16 doesn't. They don't just release one fucking phone and leave it at that and then maybe update the software every like 10 years just to give it a new look or some shit. Or why the fuck you gotta update every goddamn year? It's not that fucking serious. So as an example of how this shit sucks, the iPhone 12 ain't shit on 16. People look at you like, but when that came out, it was good. So everything in the system is shit. And when you want to get something like somewhat fucking decent. We want to get something somewhat decent, and then you got to spend a pretty penny. Like, just to get some normal working fucking. I was looking online and I seen like headphones for like $800, $900. And then people are like, damn, those are good headphones. I'm on my opinion, I'm like, those are probably just regular headphones. How headphones are supposed to sound. If I'm listening to headphones, I want something to sound good. So make it sound good. Why the fuck am I gonna get some headphones that sound cheap? You see what I'm saying? But people have been so conditioned with shit, this shit matrix, that they're like, oh, this is good, but it really isn't. It's like if you had to choose between, if you had to choose an igloo or a fucking a house and from a bomb being attacked, are you gonna choose the straw house or the fucking house built from a titanium? You're gonna choose the titanium. But if you could only afford the straw one and not the titanium, you're gonna come up in your brain, hey, let's just get the straw. Maybe we can freeze the straw in the freezer and it's gonna be hard and make it into a brick. And then we can make a video on TikTok and call it a life hack, financial life hack for all the broke ass niggas who try to rationalize this weak ass shit. Nigga, fuck this system and fuck your mama. I'm at the end of this live stream, guys. For 4%. Keep this on. And don't get me started about the time accelerating. They have a goddamn fucking mind. Expecting people to work all these hours. They don't even have time for themselves. You got me fucked up. Like I'm not saying people, like, if you're working like a career, if you're making like over $100,000 a year, I'm not gonna just say just quit. Obviously, you want to position yourself. But if for people in that situation making over $100,000, you making real money, like you got a career, find ways to make money and invest, and then ease your way out. Go into other ways to make money and do your research. But I'll ease my way out of that. I wouldn't just stay working there. But if you're working at a shitty ass fucking, you're making less than like 35, 40 an hour. What the fuck are you doing? Like, that ain't shit. That's crazy. And even really 40 an hour ain't really nothing. But this is crazy because you need at least $40 or $50 an hour to live nowadays. Unless you to live normal. That's crazy. But I don't even want to say that. You really don't even need that because I don't need that. But that's how they're trying to make it, is what I should say, because I don't need that. You guys don't need that. I'm not putting that into your reality. I don't want you guys to watch my video and, man, that's not what you need. That's what the average bot, they're trying to get the average bots to need. You don't need that shit to live. But that's how, like, in terms of rent and all this other shit, they're trying to make it where you need a certain amount. And it's just crazy. I feel like it's a form of depopulation that they're doing. They're trying to get rid of people and take people out, and because they know everyone's waking up and they know their time is coming to an end. And shit behind this, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes with these fucking people that run the world, and they get upset and they get mad because things happen that they're not gonna, like, you obviously can't think that the Masons and the Jews are gonna, like, this happened to us. They're gonna make them look like the shit ain't happening. They ain't going through nothing. That you're the only person going through something. Oh, you guys have to pay rent. You see that energy of paying rent, paying bills, and having to wake up and wanting to have this and not being fulfilled, and all the problems you have in it. That same energy you have, the Masons and Jews, they have that same energy, but it's different. It's not about money and resources. But they, don't get me wrong, because this is planet Earth. You can't escape from any emotion, thought, or feeling, especially if you're a piece of shit. You can't escape for that. You still gotta feel that shit. So they just feel it in a different way. So they'll get upset and mad. So they gotta go in. They have to go and do certain things. That's why they have to keep making the law stricter, because they get mad. They get upset. They get angry because things happen behind the scenes, and then people are waking up slowly, and certain shit happens, and then they get upset, so they retaliate and they make fucking, because when they attack my channel, that made me realize, like, these people, they actually get their feelings hurt. These motherfuckers get their fucking feelings hurt. That's one thing I realized. Like, these like, you don't understand. Like, when they fuck with my channel, that shit was funny as fuck. Like, they banned my shit, right, over a video from 2022. and over like self-harm. I was talking about, I didn't even, I was telling people don't actually do it, but since I had in the video they were trying to fuck with my channel, they took it down because I shit had one more strike before it was gone, so they took it down right before my strikes were gonna go down, which was funny, coincidentally right then. And then after they took it down, I got pissed off and I was just ranting and shit, and I took a piss on inside of 7-Eleven. I pissed in the fucking where the microwave was, and I videoed it, and then they took, and I edited on another channel, and it's funny because they took that video down the next fucking, like 2 days later they took it down, but I had like 3 other videos on my other channel they didn't take down of the same shit. So they took the shit down, and then when they took the fucking video down, they sent me a video saying your channel is banned indefinitely, and it was some other shit, but they took the shit down saying your channel was banned indefinitely, and it was my government name. I don't want to say my name. And at first I thought it was this channel, but it was like, I'm like, why does it say my government name? That's weird. But I don't know what to think of it. And a few days later, then they said this channel wasn't banned. But it was just they're just playing some fucking trick, like, but I don't know. But eventually though, you're not gonna be able to talk shit on this bitch. I don't think you're gonna be able to, because they're gonna probably make it against the law or do some dumb, stupid, weak ass shit, or we're gonna make it, you're gonna be like a terrorist, or it's against the law, or you're talking inappropriate, so you can't make a video. Like, there could be some weak ass, dumb ass shit. So who knows when that shit will happen? But I don't think you're gonna be able to just be running your mouth on this fucking platform for that much longer, because these motherfuckers, they're getting butthurt, they're getting upset. So they're trying to find a way to get people to shut up so they don't get their feelings hurt. Because they wake up in the morning, they see this shit, they get their fucking feelings hurt. For real. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. This shit is weird though. I'm gonna read some more of these comments. Yeah, but I'm gonna stop talking about shit like that, because I don't like because that shit really ain't important. Like all this shadow government shit. Like, I just talk about it just for like trivia. Like, trivia, like just something to entertain, just to let you guys just talk about. I don't talk about it like it's something you need to focus on and pay attention to. Like, obviously you're aware, but I don't like to give these motherfuckers energy because they ain't powerful like that. And when you talk about them like that, you make them look like they have some type of power. They don't got no fucking power. They ain't shit. So I'm gonna just stop speaking about them in general, because it really don't even matter. Whatever they're doing, whatever they're saying, it really don't even fucking matter. And if it's something happens that they do, let's just say they do something tomorrow and it affects your life, it isn't because of what they fucking did. It's because people are too fucking ignorant to see what they're doing. Because if they do something ignorant, all people have to do is be like, hey, we see you, bitch ass nigga, stop fucking doing that. And then the whole course would change. Like that fucking pandemic that we wasted 2 years or however long doing that whole shit that didn't need to happen, that was created by man. That whole shit that went down in 2020, how many people got killed over not wanting to wear a mask or wearing a mask or all this shit. Fucking lady got shot in the face or shot somebody in the face, tell her to wear a mask. All these fucking people lost their businesses and shit. All that shit was created by a fucking man. Like, people, like, they forget that shit. And the only reason that was able to happen though, because people accepted it. People was like, we see you, this is fucking retarded. Like, why all of a sudden this is an issue now? Like, all the problems, diabetes, cancer, AIDS, all these fucking diseases and shit. Why all of a sudden you care about helping people with this disease? And like, and at that time, remember everybody who had a disease, even if you had like herpes or some shit, you went in the fucking office, they would have been like, you got the thing. Get the fuck out of here. But now nobody does that. If you go into our office and you burning, then you fucking burning. You don't got no fucking pandemic scary monster under the bed. Stupid ass shit. I hate this fucking shit. Is fucking hilarious. Yeah. Oh shit. Let me turn this fucking thing off. My shit's about to run out of battery soon. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few more questions. I'm about to be out. I think my other phone. because a lot of people don't know them, so they project their BS onto people because they want to be miserable. So exactly. Even rich dumb people dumb just see this streamer Jack Doherty crash his 2000. Even rich people dumb just seen the streamer Jack Doherty. Did he do it on purpose? I think that's the nigga. Like, I think there was like somebody saying like he like trolls people. Like he'll just go up to people in public and just start talking shit for no reason. That's the nigga. Like that's funny as fuck. Cause this nigga will go and just troll people for no fucking reason. Just start talking a whole bunch of shit. And I'm like, I told myself, I'm like, one day he's just like, you don't want to put that much energy out. Like, this is why, as much as I talk shit and I show my ass, I always show a level like vulnerability to you guys because I don't be like, I don't act like ain't like my shit don't stink, or I don't like to be too much smelling my ass and then you look like a fool when shit hits the fan. Like, he was sitting there talking all this shit to everybody, and then now you streaming live and then some embarrassing you crash your fucking whip. Like, fucking stupid. That's what that nigga gets. Like all that running your, because he'll go and talk hella shit, and then he has some big ass nigga as a security guard to like back up the shit he's talking. Like if somebody wants to buck, then they'll get his security guard because they know they could beat his old cracker ass up. So he probably go get his faggot fat ass, that nigger security. He probably sexually isn't interested in him because he's a small ass white kid, and he probably has sexual fetishes for him. So that's why it's like kind of weird. Like a black nigga probably has some type of, but it's weird because I seen, the only reason I know about this shit is that there's this channel he goes over scams. Like this, I think it's us. I don't know. I'm not giving nobody no shout out, but there's a guy, he goes over different scams, like people who get caught scamming and get caught up in different frauds and investment frauds. And one of his videos was about that Jack Doherty. That's the only reason I know about this motherfucker. I don't watch that bitch ass nigga's channel. I just seen it because I was watching that page of the guy. He goes over people who do investment scams or Ponzi schemes and shit. And one of his videos was that nigga. That's the only reason I know about this shit. I don't even watch that shit. But that's funny as fuck. He crashed that shit. That nigga just buy a new one though. Bro, YouTubers making videos about signs about you're to be able to be rich, or signs you're about to find love. Ain't nothing happens for them. Cause they're fucking retarded. Like they're stupid. That's why I don't watch tarot. Any of that tarot shit. A lot of those bitches out there, like you notice all these females who talk about tarot, like look at most of these bitches seem bitter, scorn. Most of them don't even have men, but they have to talk about relationship. Like in tarot, they have career, health, and relationships. That's usually the traditional bullshit ass astrology that the mainstream pushes, that these bitches talk about. Career, health, and relationships. Bitch, your career is just fucking telling people a bunch of weak ass tarot. Your health, I don't really know about that. Probably isn't, because you look fat as fuck. You sound fat as fuck. We just see your fat ass fingers flipping them decks. So you aren't healthy, and you don't got a relationship. And that's pretty much sums up every fucking tarot damn reader. And like they'll talk about love and how their audience can find love. And like, bitch, even if you have 10,000 people watching your shit and you say they can find love, bitch, obviously somebody in your audience is gonna find love. And then not only that, is like how you give a tarot reading for the week or for the day, but then you do another tarot reading tomorrow. Wouldn't that tarot reading tomorrow, or if you're doing too many tarot readings, wouldn't the next if you keep doing them like next to each other concurrently, the next tarot you do is gonna have effect on the last one. You need to have the last one play out. Like, I don't get it. That's what they do so many. Like, how do you have a channel off tarot? How much fucking tarot you need? Like, every day. Like, maybe I can say a tarot for the week or a tarot card for the day. But I don't even know. It's kind of like, why are you pulling so many fucking tarots? Like, why don't you do one and then get your because if you pull one tarot, it's going to tell you what you need to do. And if you're focused on doing whatever you need to do from the tarot, because I'm not saying tarot isn't real, because it has legitimacy in it, but a lot of bullshit people in it. But if you're doing the original first tarot that you pulled, if you did that, you would be so busy doing that, eventually you wouldn't have time to keep pulling all these other tarots. And then when you pull another tarot months down the line or another time, it's going to be something that you've accomplished already. You're going to get confirmation. I accomplished this, and this is what I need to do next. Instead of you getting the same, oh, you're going to get love, or you're going to get this. And then when they talk about love, bitch, love can mean the things you love doing. It doesn't just mean you loving relationship. It means what you love, what you desire. So, bitch, if you like to eat cake and ice cream every day, watching serial killer dramas on fucking Discovery ID, bitch, that's your love. Yeah, you're gonna get love in your life. You're gonna get a fat ass bucket of ice cream and you're gonna get some Netflix and cable to watch those serial killer dramas on Discovery ID. That's love. You got love, bitch. So they aren't really lying because these bitches, they don't know. Yeah, I don't even watch those tarot cards, those tarot bitches. They don't know what the fuck they talking about, most of them. Some are, don't get me wrong, some are legit, but very few of them. I don't even have time to fucking go and look to see who's legit or not. If at that point, just learn to read the damn cards yourself. You don't even need to go to those bitches. They don't even know how to even read it more than you probably know how to read it. Like, everyone goes to these tarots, like, why don't you just learn how to read it? Like, these bitches, they're not shit. Like, they're not fucking any more spiritual than you. I'm not gonna say they're not tapped in or they're not spiritual, but who the fuck cares if you tapped in and you spiritual? That's not a big deal. That's the thing. That's another thing I want to speak about. I might make a whole nother live stream about it. And I touched about it in my last live stream I made that was 20 minutes long. That people want to talk about, like, oh, they're so special, I'm a chosen one, but what makes you think you're a chosen one? You think you're a chosen one because it's something that you think is greater than what somebody else can do. Who the fuck says somebody can't do what you got to do? They can do what you got to do. They just got to go through the lifetime, the work, the experience. It may take a billion eons of lifetimes. It may take in this lifetime, or it may take 30 minutes, or whatever. I want to go get that new updated version of a new vehicle. I just get the money and go get it. Just because that person has it doesn't mean I can't go and do it. I just got to go and get it. It may take me a year or two, but I can get it. Now take that on a bigger level, like spiritual. I have the spiritual knowledge, and all spiritual knowledge comes from experience. The more experience you have, the more spiritual knowledge you have. So really, that's what it is. Everyone says, "Oh, I'm a chosen one." This is why you'll see somebody who says they're enlightened. You'll see enlightened people, but some enlightened people are more dumber than others, or they don't have as much knowledge. It's because it's deeper than what you guys think it is. Like, even Moody Mercury said something about people who breatharian. Why do they have, when you don't eat, it doesn't mean anything in terms of knowledge. You don't need to eat to get knowledge. And he's right. And I never said you need that, because if anything, I preach the opposite. Because when I go into the breatharian community, 99.9, probably 100%, I'll say, but I'll just say 99.9% of people in the breatharian community have that Brahmanism spirit, that Hindi, and all of them, like, they have that shit. So that off the back tells you that has nothing to do, breatharian has nothing to do with your knowledge or nothing. Breatharianism, Qigong, and yoga is to help make your spirit powerful. If you have a weak spirit, then you're just going to be a powerful, weak spirit. When you be a powerful spirit within your level, if you got a strong spirit and you do these practices, you're going to do even greater things. So the spiritual foundation I talk about isn't just predicated on just doing this, because you could be a dumbass piece of shit, fucking idiot, and do these practices and just become a happy, joyful piece of shit fucking idiot. But at least you're on that step to be to the position where you can be a great, strong, powerful spirit. It may take you a long fucking time, but it's a start. And really, it's not even a long time, because it's really, what's there to do? Like, what's there you in a rush for, really? Other than to evolve and be great. And if you're on that path, then you're on the right path. There's really no point of wishing you need to be there, or we got to get here quick. Because it's like, even if you get to where you got to get to, like, you still got to go infinite some more. Like, it never ends. Shit is so annoying. Like, be still stuck in the same situation. Yeah, most of the audience is stuck in the same situation. Like, because you got to look at the audience. Like, and Moody Mercury made a video called The Dead Internet Theory. I still got to watch that. I seen it. I watched a little bit of it, but I was a little bit busy. But I'm going to go and watch that video today, The Dead Internet Theory. He was speaking about it, and that shit was so, like, that made me kind of think about shit. Damn, my shit's at 2%. Hold on, I really don't want to keep this car on too long. But he was talking about the dead internet theory and how most of the internet's fake. And I was like, it makes a lot of sense, because back in 2013, I remember there was a website called World Star Hip Hop. It's still, I think it's still out, but it's not as popular as it was. World Star Hip Hop. Back in 2013, I remember on that website from 2013 to 2014, that's when I was looking at this website at that time. Every time a video would get to 100,000 views, it would be like viral. That was considered viral. 100,000 views. I remember when a video got 100,000 views, everybody's seen that video. But then I remember like a few years later, like videos were getting to 100,000, 200,000, and it didn't have the same outcome. And I was like, that's weird. Like, it seemed like that's what it, like, something's weird. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then when I looked up his video, he said the dead internet theory, which started around 2015, and how the internet's just been flooded with bots. It makes sense because there was a time on the internet with YouTube, with Wallstar, if a video had like 50,000, 100,000, that was considered a lot of views. And everyone's seen it. But then there was a time where you started getting 1.3 million, 200. Even when you see a lot of these YouTubers get like 500,000 views, a lot of that shit is fake. You got to understand, because even like channels like PewDiePie, some of these channels, they had it at once. I don't know if they still do it, but they had it at a time where when you make a new YouTube account, they automatically subscribe you. So when they subscribe somebody automatically, when you make a new YouTube account, which that their accounts being made thousands every fucking day, probably millions if you want to factor in AI, they're clicking on the subscriptions, and then those views that are getting are like dead views. They're not even real views. They're people who don't give a shit about that fucking content creator, whatever. And like that drives it up. So it makes you think like, what the fuck is real? What's not real? So you see all these 500,000 subscriber channels, 1 million subscriber channels, 10 million subscriber. I don't think all of that shit is real. Nobody's that popular because sometimes I'd be looking at some of these people. I'd be like, this person has 1 million subscribers. I've never heard of this motherfucker. Like, I've never heard of him before. Like, some people you hear about, like, let's just say some random motherfucker, like Brother Polite. He doesn't even have that many subscribers compared to some of these other people, but he's known a lot in certain industries. Or let's just say, I want to say him because that's kind of like in the conscious shit. Just pick somebody that doesn't have 1 million subscribers or even 500,000. You see that they seem more famous and known. Like Charleston White, he doesn't even have a fucking page, but yet people know him. But yet you see these other people that got like 1 million, 2 million subscribers, and it's like, I don't even fucking know this person. Where are they getting their views? And even if they are getting views, they're probably bots. Or because you got to understand, a lot of these people who have 500,000 subscribers, 500,000, 1 million subscribers, annually getting or regularly getting hundreds of thousands of views, a lot of these people spend money for advertisement. And if you are in the algorithm and the YouTube fucks with you and you're spending money for advertisement, they're going to fuck with you even more. So that's what I'm thinking a lot of these subscribers are doing. They have 1 million subscribers and then they're taking their money and then they're buying more subscribers, not in a way where YouTube is doing it. Like they'll market your shit like ad revenue. That's what they're doing, and then that's what gets their shit up. And then it's a lot of the view, because those people, when they have channels like that, they're not about actually helping the people. They're just about creating a product that people can spend money on, because there's about commerce and business. So this is why you have a lot of these AI channel bots that be making like thousands of channels every day. This AI system makes these channels just to talk the same rhetoric, spiritual shit, and just change the word, because it's all about money. It's not about actually helping people to get anybody information. So that's how you could tell, like, a channel that's about money is they don't have nothing that's helping anyone. And it's the same regurgitated shit. And they have like a lot of views. Like, they're not talking about nothing. They're not. So how they got this many views? It's because they're pushed. Because if they let everybody just talk how they want to talk, it will be let the best man win. They can't let the best man win because that's dangerous. Because now a lot of tax revenue won't be paid. A lot of infrastructures aren't going to be built because no one's going to want to fucking participate in this piece of shit system. They can't have that. So they have to really like buckle down on that shit, because it's like their life depends on that shit. Like, like when I see the way these fucking motherfuckers move, it makes me kind of think like they operate like their life depends on it. Like if they don't do a lot of the shit they do to keep people down, like they're gonna die or something's gonna happen. Like These motherfuckers like their life depends on that, and it's crazy. That's a horrible situation to be in because a lot of these niggas like they have a lot of they gotta reap a lot of the shit they sowed. They have to reap a lot, and they not only did the people up top like those masons and shit, they also fucked up a lot of people who don't even know what's going on. A lot of police, a lot of politicians, a lot of senators. They're gonna be getting a lot of that karmic smoke because they were forced to do things that they were told by their superiors. So now they getting other people fucked up. They're getting other people fucked up and shit. This shit's crazy. This shit is crazy. But it is what it is, though. I'm gonna have to end this live stream though pretty soon because my shit's at 2. But I don't know why the fuck it's not charging. I think because I'm using the phone while I'm charging it. And that's another thing. Like, why the fuck are these phones running out of batteries? Like, this is a fucking brand new phone. Well, it's like 2 years old. It's still like $800 plus for this phone I'm using. And the battery's at 10 hours only. It fucking runs out so damn quick. Yeah, I worked a warehouse before. Definitely a slave job. And they tried to rank me up. I quit. Warehouse job is the worst job ever. That's the worst. That's the worst job you can actually have right now in the system. Is a way. That's why they give that shit out so easily because it's the most demeaning. It's worse than a fast food job. But the fast food is second to worst. Then warehouse is worse. Warehouse is even worse than garbage man because garbage man they give you benefits. You get paid decently. You're working for the government, the city. So it's really like you see what I'm saying. It's not as bad as fucking working for like a warehouse because they don't give a shit. At least you're working for the government, the city, at the waste management. They're not. It's not built off money in business as much because their money in business is the tax dollar. So as long as the motherfuckers is going to work, that company, that city is getting money. So they're not really going to be as stringent on you as a fucking corporation where you're lose everything is about money like Amazon. If you go to the bathroom for 30 minutes, they say, oh, they'll get on your ass. But in a way, the way they design capitalism, I kind of see why in a way, because based on how much money they're making, they can lose a lot of money. So if certain shit isn't done within 30 minutes, that equates to like $50,000 for one person. That's how fucking stupid this. That's how stupid these dumbasses set the system up. So now, if you do go to the bathroom and you're not doing something, they can calculate that 30 minutes to be like 50,000, and they really did lose 50,000 because it's fake. So, and then they can fire you because of that. But it's all money. It's fake. It's stupid. Why is he? And what is it? But that's how they create the system. Which I don't even give a fuck about them losing money. But the fact is that you got to suffer the consequence because of that. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. This is a good live stream. Let me see if I got all the, old female see dead. The old female see for real? Wait. I thought she didn't she step down? That was it that Jewish bitch? That Wichakaki bitch, whatever her name is. I heard she stepped down from YouTube. I didn't know she died. Good riddance. That bitch is a demon. Anybody that for you to even be the CEO of YouTube, you have to be a piece of shit. You have to be. There's no way in hell you can be a CEO. Like you could be a CEO for YouTube, for any corporation, but YouTube, you got to be a piece of shit, bitch. I hope you rest in piss. I can't. That's a death I'll disrespect because she ain't shit. I don't disrespect the dead, but if it's somebody like that, they ain't shit. I don't know, but they said that's YouTube. Who knows? These are YouTube's fucking up all these algorithms. Maybe she was doing something and she pissed them off and they killed her ass, or maybe she just died because I don't know. I remember that bitch though. She actually went on fucking social media. Anybody you see that goes on social media and like So like you see how that bitch, she went on social media and tried to make you like, what CEO of YouTube, especially a CEO of a social media, especially YouTube, is gonna make a YouTube video? That's kind of weird. So when I seen her make that shit, I'm like, she's a low level puppet. She wasn't really that. She can't be that high, because if she was that high, she wouldn't even make a video. Or if she did make a video, if you were a high ranking like type of person and you did make a video, you're not gonna come off as a CEO. You're probably gonna come off as a construction worker. So you throw everybody off. They think you're normal. This is how a person who's probably in a high position, who really in the shadow, is gonna probably come out. It's somebody who's regular, wearing jeans and has a regular shit. They're not gonna come as a CEO of somebody. A CEO, when I see that they were put there, and she's low on the totem. So yeah, that's just crazy. That bitch was a fucking Mason, or they call them Eastern Stars. She had to be a fucking CEO of YouTube. But let's try away facts. Chosen ones are always the most cringe and capable. And for real, shout out to Blaze and Mello. Damn, he hit it. When you see these people say they chosen, these are the people that, like, cause you don't lie to yourself. You guys may say, "Oh, I want to meet people who are spiritual and stuff." And don't get me, there are people you probably met that are spiritual, but most of these people that you see that are spiritual, I'm sure now, at one point you probably didn't, because you were probably stuck in your delusions. But now you're probably looking at it like, these people really aren't that different. Like, to be honest, they'll probably have the same energy if we were as a regular bot. To be honest, like, because when you see a lot of these people, they're not really. A lot of these people aren't really spiritual. They just found another hobby, or what they call a hobby, and then they watch fucking YouTube videos, and they watch other chosen ones, and then they get this cringe energy from them. Like, this is where that whole cringe energy gets you, because they're like, "Oh, I'm spiritual, I'm a chosen one," but then they don't know themselves, so they're trying to, like, they're like, "Oh, I don't relate to no one," and then everything they're going through is a problem that they need to overcome. But then they looking at it like, "Oh, I'm a chosen one, nobody relates to me, and this is the why." And it's like, I get it, people are stupid, but at the same time, nigga, you're stupid as well. You're just a different type of stupid. But don't think like you're chosen and somehow you're in a world and everyone's against you. And like, it's when you back in 2019, it's easy to believe that. But 2020, 2021, 2022, when you see these people in the same situation, working the same job, not doing anything different, but saying they're a chosen one, it's like, what the fuck were you chosen for? The past 4 years, I seen your channel, you didn't talk about shit, but just being chosen, and you just collecting a check on YouTube. You didn't do anything different than a regular bot does, who talks about fucking their train collection or streaming YouTube videos or Roblox. You're just getting paid off YouTube, just talking about your shit, but yet you somehow a chosen one. It's like, and even if whatever, anything that makes you come up with the idea that you're a chosen one, let's just say you reach spiritual attainment, God spoke to you. All of this shit, you're putting words on it, bitch. This is an experience you haven't. I'm not saying you shouldn't put words, but who the fuck said it's called God speaking to you? Why don't it just something you experienced, and nigga, the message you got, act upon that fucking message. God spoke to me in a dream, bitch. I don't give a fuck if God spoke to you. Stop with that Masonic bullshit. What the fuck was the message? You can go and do the damn fucking thing. I don't give a fuck what spoke to you. I don't give a fuck what energy chosen when you feel, what mission you have. Bitch, do what the fuck you supposed to be doing and shut the fuck up. That's it. Whatever you experience was to get you to do something, not to sit there and brag, "Oh, I can see the number 44. Bitch, you see the number 44 every day you're at work is to remind you that you aren't supposed to be there. Not because you're special in some shit. I hate that fucking crap. They try to be like, and then you see these people, like, nowadays, when I see these people, like, I see them, like, I see right through them. I'm like, God damn, this is, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say I was lost in it, because I wasn't ever lost in it, but I was kind of like, I watched it and I kind of took it, you could kind of say I was lost in it, but the moment I felt I was lost, I got up out instantly. Even when I was so-called lost in it, I knew there's certain things that didn't make sense, but then once I started really tapping into self and really, like, going on, just figuring shit out for myself, that's when I was able to read the energy and see it. Most of this shit is just cringe. It's like most of these people, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'm not saying they have bad intentions. A lot of these people, like, they're going through an experience, a spiritual experience. Okay, we get it. But how they talk about how they're a chosen one, they're somehow have a mission, and they keep bringing it up and not actually doing anything. Like, what is your mission, to be honest? Like, is it just to feel superior and feel better because you've seen a synchronicity, or you're able to spot a synchronicity? Because people see them, but you just are able to spot it. And like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. And then you got people say, oh, and then this is what the whole Jesus and God spoke to me shit. The Christianity. Because you have people that will talk about Jesus Christ and Christianity, and the same conclusion somebody will come up with Jesus Christ talking to them or God speaking to them is the same reason somebody will come up with they're a chosen one and they're on a spiritual mission. It's like they're using all these fucking terms and they're not actually looking at the message and exercising that message. They're caught up in, oh, God talked to me, Yahweh talked to me. Give a fuck what the fuck he talked to you about, bitch. What was the message and are you doing it? Because now your religion is pretty much, oh, God talked to me, and that whatever supernatural experience happened to me, it's Jesus. No, it's God. No, it's Buddha. No, it's, they're like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And then they get everybody trapped in all this shit, and then they think somebody's special. Oh, I have a soul. I have a spirit. You don't have a soul. First of all, if you don't have a soul and you don't have a spirit, you're not aware of somebody with one or without one. You wouldn't even have the conscious awareness to be with one or without if you didn't have one. The fact that you're aware means you have a soul or spirit. What makes you think somebody doesn't have a soul is because, and when you say somebody doesn't have a soul, it means it's like a term saying they're not tapped into their awareness. They're just on autopilot. But as far as a soul spirit, everyone fucking has one, unless you create like an entity or you create like some type of AI bot with a computer and you put it in like a artificial clone you make or some fake ass shit. And that's technology, but everyone has one. It just what people got confused is that you looked at having a soul or a spirit as important or not important, where it's just something you have. Like all of these words, oh, this is important, this is not important. This now, I'm not saying we can't use these, but people use them when they don't need to be needed. And then it comes into ego, it comes into people religious debates, all this other shit. This is why these mazes can trap people with religion. Because something we all fucking experience, people have to attribute it to some type of shit. Like they gotta overcomplicate their minds so much. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, I hate that shit. But I'm gonna have to end this live stream, guys. I'm at 1%. Fuck. I'm at 1%. But I'm at. Alright then, guys. Peace.